Hello. Hello, everybody. Oh my god, I am tired. Dude, these past couple of days have been fucking exhausting. Um, they're not scheduling enough, like, people. Dude, I'm really tired, damn. Because they haven't been scheduling enough people, for work. So it's mostly just been, me and a couple other people, getting slammed by customers, because you're not gonna believe it. People gotta have their slop. And I'm tired. Well, hello everybody. I'm eating a piece of chocolate cake. It's okay. It's, I just ate a bunch of hair. About as good as chocolate cake could be. I think. Not to say I don't like chocolate cake. But more to say that it's okay. We're back again with the life and suffering of Sir Brant. I'm gonna try and finish a run before Prince Jarian comes out, so we can play that too. Alright, we just started Adolescence, it looks like. Alright, we are on the first story of Adolescence. Hey Cherry, hey Soviet. Your four-wheeler is broken? I'm sorry to hear that, Roger. That's rough. The boy down the street. Oh my god, hang on, I might pass out. I might pass out from fucking exhaustion. The family expects more and more of you as you grow up. Wait, hang on, I also have to pick... Well, yeah. We'll figure it out. Right, we were gonna do willpower, ingenuity, and nobility, and 0 spirituality. As much as possible. We want to try the blood tide. Because we did do Nobleman's Sacrament. Gregor Brandt likes us, so... The teachers and tutors hired by your father keep you on your toes all the time. Your life these days is dedicated to studying for your future, for the future of the Brandt family. What'd you miss? Nothing. We just started. Your younger brother Nathan keeps growing up too. He can hold a conversation now. You never refuse him when he comes to play, provided you have a bit of free time between your demanding lessons. It's a rainy day today. Whoa. Father and mother have gone to a ball and they left Nathan in your care. You lose track of time over the books in the sitting room and Nathan goes off alone to splash in the creek. Soon you hear his voice begging you to come outside. He's on the porch sobbing, all covered in dirt. You walk up to him as he continues to bawl. It's all that kid. He pushed me into the ditch and called me names. He said I was a fancy pants fool. I said I'll call my brother. He's still there. You have to go punish him, Theodore. So you're gonna pass out? Oh yeah, I'm tired. 62 liters of beer in 4 days was not a good idea for hydration. 16 gallons of beer in 4 days. 62 liters of beer? Damn, Soviet. May your headache subside. Tonight for dinner, I'm eating cake and ice cream. Like a big boy. Who's this fucking dork? Nathan points at a lopsided wooden house further down the street where the poor artisans live. You see 2 boys lingering there on the porch. They're clearly both commoners, but far from poor. One of them is almost as tall as Nathan, and he frowns in a funny way, just like him. The other looks older, almost your age, but he's more broad-shouldered and taller. His name is Thomas. You've heard it before. There, Theodore, that's him. Nathan points at the younger brother and hides behind your back. Thomas grins and rolls up his sleeves to reveal strong forearms. He must have been helping his father with manual labor for quite some time. What's it up, rich boys? We don't give a damn about you or your friendship. We don't let nobody call our home a stinking rat hole. Your little brother earned his ditch dive. Maybe next time he'll dress normal and stop picking fights with people who can throw him in the mud. Your hands clench into fists before you can react. Nathan called them names first. No wonder they did the same. That's how it goes. But pushing your brother into a ditch is too much. Thomas stands tall and confident. He sees no threat in you. You're about to get ready to fight when you feel a tug on your sleeve. You turn your head to see Nathan, the one who started the whole mess. Listen to your brother first requires a grateful relationship with Nathan, but I do not have one. Nathan keeps tugging your sleeve. It seems he has something important to tell you. Resolve the matter peacefully. Do your best to reason with Thomas and avoid a fight. Say your brother's to blame. He did call him names first. Come at Thomas and give him a beating. You simply have to teach that jerk a lesson. I'll say my brother's to blame. Nathan, what the hecky? Oh, gassed. Oh, Ramaru. Anyway, this ice cream should be sufficiently melted so I can drink it now. Because I'm out of spoons. I have not washed any of my spoons. So I'm using a fork to eat ice cream. I'm waiting for it to melt so I can just simply drink it. I hope I'm not too wired tonight. I really want to get some fucking sleep. Hang on. Let me see when I go to work in tomorrow since I'm here. Since I'm here staring at my ice cream phone. That's right. I'm eating my phone because it's made out of ice cream. It's tasty and yummy and delicious. You wouldn't know anything about all that now, would you? This week's done. Yep, 7 to 3:30. God fucking smoke me dead. Takes a few moments to compose yourself. It's funny. And quell your rage. Your brother has put you on the spot. He couldn't bring himself to apologize, and now you have to settle this for him. How are you supposed to do that, pray tell? If you'd done this, grandfather would have you flogged, and father would have scolded you and given you the cold shoulder for days afterward. You frowned and asked Nathan to come closer. You addressed Nathan sternly. You told you those boys were to blame, but he was the one who called them names first. So how is this their fault? It serves him right. Next time you should watch his mouth. Your lecture sounds a lot like father. You think your tirade came out well enough? Nathan pouts, looks away, and furrows his brow. Still, he nods. Thomas slowly shakes his head in disapproval. Then he bursts out laughing. To him, this is actually hilarious. Why would you look at that? You're a right little nobleman. Are you gonna punish him you're gonna push him into the ditch yourself? His words turn your seemingly perfect solution into a repulsive absurdity. Blood rushes to your face. You step closer to Thomas and shove him hard. He jumps back, surprised by your assault. Takes him a moment to compose himself, but now he's ready. His fists cover his face and he attacks you with a quick jab. Now it's your turn to take a step backward. Thomas does not resort to fancy moves, dirty tricks, or stupid taunts. He displays nothing but skill earned in many a street fight. And his heavy fists aim for your head. You keep dodging him again and again, trying to reach him. He takes a couple of glancing blows, but easily shakes them off. What a bruiser. You start swinging your fists with greater and greater fury. Your heart's pounding like a hammer. You see nothing but the foe in front of you. How much longer will this take? You're worn out. Your breath grows ragged, your muscles grow heavy, but there's no way you can give up now. Nathan's still watching you. Desperate and out of options, you swing and punch Thomas square in the nose, then immediately let his fist smack you in the temple. The blow rings through your head like a bell and blinds you for a moment. Ooh. The world swims before your eyes. You clutch at your head to get your bearings. Thomas is standing in front of you, blood dripping from his nose. You no longer want to fight it out, and it seems your opponent would rather end it too. But you keep standing there eyeing each other angrily, and suddenly you hear an angry shout right next to you. An enraged man in a craftsman apron is shaking his fist. Thomas's face contorts in terror right away. It's my father, run! The punishment for fighting is flogging, and the mere prospect of that makes you run like the wind. Thomas sprints in front of you. You dash across the rotten wooden planks of the back alley, up and over a lopsided fence, across a giant puddle in one leap, and then forward into the tall grass. You hide there and stay quiet, hear no sounds of pursuit. Sleep is for the weak. I am fucking weak. You exchange glances with Thomas and start laughing. His laughter is loud and infectious, but soon he cuts it short and grows sadder. I'm gonna get flogged anyways. My dad's always quick to give me a beating, and then he'll start nagging me about the lots and the prayers for days like he always does. Well, I always get myself mixed up in this stuff. But fighting's the only way to prove you're worth anything, right? The adults didn't see you fighting, you tell them, so all you have to do now is convince them you weren't. Nosebleeds happen, right? Mother gets nosebleeds all the time. Well, we could try it. Let's hope our little brothers don't tell on us. I'll talk to mine. There's a scratch on your head. Don't let them see it. Good thing I didn't hit you in the face. There. Good as new. You assure him that Nathan will never tell, and in return, you'll make sure he behaves himself so he won't get tossed into a ditch again. With that, you shake your hands with Thomas. His handshake is as strong as you would expect based on his fists. You make your way out of the tall grass. You need to leave before Thomas's father goes to your family and complains about you breaking your lot. You come to a realization on the way back. You had no idea the place where you were hiding it even existed, and it wasn't too far from home. Thomas smiles in excitement when he hears this. Oh, I know lots of places like that. I'll tell you what, if we get out of this mess today, I'll show you the way to the old wall. It's the perfect place to build forts. I dragged a bunch of wooden planks there. Too bad it's no fun to build all alone. My brother never helps. He just gets in the way. What time is it for me? 5:16. You emerge from the muddy back alleys, united by a secret only the two of you know. Seems you've made a friend today. Nice. My ingenuity has increased. Wow, we're gonna need to do a lot to get these stats boosted. Jesus. Met Thomas. I made a friend, a boy named Tomas, in the year 1120-2060. Now in the year 1120-2070. It's a good thing one thing happens every year. It's fucking blistering hot today, mate. Even for the sun-parched land of Magra. As soon as you're done with your studies, you dash outdoors and out of the stuffy room. You and Thomas roll up your shirt sleeves, but it barely helps. You'd gladly go shirtless, had you only been in the company of other boys. But there are 3 girls in the yard today. They're doing the laundry in a big wash tub, whispering and giggling. If you could, you would gladly keep watching one of them at work. She has big eyes of deep blue. Her dark hair is braided, and her plain gray dress is mended and patched all over. Her name is Sophia. She throws her head back a little when she laughs. The rays of the sun are reflected in her eyes. You, Thomas, and the other boys keep telling silly stories, anything to make her laugh. You sure love telling tales, Theodore. Oh, I remember this one time. But then Sophia hears a voice calling her home. She nods to you and runs across the street smiling. Her light steps carry her forward, but her eyes are looking elsewhere. But then a stone on the road catches her foot. She stumbles and falls flat into the dust. The street starts shaking from the thundering of hooves. Riders appear on the road from around the corner. They bear a coat of arms you recognize right away. A sable serpent blade upon a field of vert. It symbolizes the Melanides dynasty, the family of your province's archduke. The horses dash forward. A lost wooden toy on the road cracks under their hooves. They will not slow down. They are nobles, and the rest must make way for them. Sophia's in their way. Just now starting to get back on her feet, her mother is crying for her desperately from behind the fenced door. You freeze in terror. The riders surely see the girl. Are they going to stop, or are they going to trample her? In only a few moments, the beautiful girl will be toppled, trampled, and crushed. Stay where you are. Sophia died her first death. Shield Sophia from the horses. This takes 5 willpower. Rush into the road, blinded by hope, determined to stop the riders. I save Sophia. I gain a nobility, an ingenuity, a spirituality. I lose willpower, and then I die. Ooh, a flat bonus to all the stats would go crazy. But I'm not saving Sophia to lose a death. I'm dying at the end of the story. Sorry, later, Sophie. Spent $1,800 on beer? Well, I don't blame you, Sophia. Beer's kind of expensive. I stand frozen. I should get willpower for this. How much willpower do I have, by the way? Only 5, dude. Damn. You stand frozen by the roadside, unable to look away as the cloud of dust covers the entire street. You feel as if a massive, maddened beast whipped into a merciless frenzy has just passed you by. You hear no screams, no cracking bones, nothing but the deafening din of the hooves. Once the horses are gone and the dust settles, you can finally see the road again and the repulsive blob of blood, flesh, and bone left on it. You can still see traces of Sophia in the mess, her dark hair, the remains of her dress, but it's no longer her. Sophia's earthly remains slowly dissipate and melt into the air. Her mother's eyes are filled with grief as she watches. She hunches over and slowly walks back into the house. You can still hear the riders far away down the road. None of them even bothered to look back. Your friends walk away at a loss for words. You make your way home, dazed by what you've seen. You're still dazed as you retell these events to Mother, unable to look up from the floor. After a moment of silence, she embraces you and calms you down. Poor girl, what a terrible, painful death. But you must know that it was not her true death. By the twins' mercy, we're all given enough time in this world. Should you die before your time, you will be brought back by their grace. For 3 times they will rescue you from a terrible fate, but the 4th death is true and final for all. Every loss of a life we were granted at our birth is a heavy blow to us, but the gods told us not to mourn a lesser death. Everybody will keep on living as though nothing has happened, even Sophia's parents. Their family is poor, and they have no family crypt like we do. When the girl's soul comes back to life, her body will be reborn in the city church, with all her wounds healed. Do not mourn her, my son, but thank the twin gods for their justice. You see Sophia by her house a few days later, and she looks completely fine, without so much as a scratch. The other children tell you that her parents now forbid her to leave the yard after dying such an early first death. You call out Sophia's name, she looks at you briefly, then walks back inside. Sophia never talks to you again. Sorry, Sophia. That's riders on the road, mate. I mean, that would be a good stat boost, but at the cost of a death, I'm not so sure. Watermelon taffy. Yummy. Yummy. Ball, soil, and gunpowder. Sophia disappeared after the terrible incident with the horses. Her friends gossip that her parents sent her off to serve a rich noble dynasty. You haven't seen each other since that day, but you still remember Sophia's eyes, the sunlight shining in them. No matter what, life goes on. You're 10 now, your studies continue, and you're learning more about the land you live in. Anazat is an ancient city in an imperial province by the name of Magra. All soil in Magra has turned to ash aeons ago, scorched by magic during the rebellion of Duke Char Melanidus. The magical arts are all but gone now, but the scorched earth has remained barren and infertile ever since. Since then, the entire province is laying bare, tormented by cold and scorching winds in equal measure, with few precious plants taking root on their own. All fertile land in Magra is brought elsewhere and brought here by an endless caravan of carts and carriages. To pay for food and soil, the cities of Magra become skilled in many trades, primarily mining and digging for metals and stone. Last fall, there was an explosion just outside the city, followed by clouds of thick smoke. The first such incident frightened the citizens, but then explosions and smoke became an everyday occurrence. Soon everyone grew used to it. Father explains that the miners are using a new invention called gunpowder. It makes it easier for them to reach the precious stones and metals buried deep within the earth. Then one day, a thunderous explosion rocks the city, and black, billowing smoke covers the houses. People are stuck in their homes, all windows tightly shut. The air is impossible to breathe. Nathan coughs all the time. Gloria and you cough only when nobody's watching. If Mother hears it, she'll make you inhale those hot herbal vapors just like Nathan. Takes 2 days for the black smoke to disperse. People pour out onto the streets to meet their friends. Thomas is eager to share everything he knows about this incident with you. They took lots of burnt-up people to the city temple. Mom told me she was helping the healers. There are many rumors. Some claim it was the work of a beast stirred from its slumber, while others say it's the surviving witches that continue to threaten the Order and the Empire with their accursed powers. But as for you, you patiently wait for Father to come back home, and then you'll ask him about it. Father spends day and night working at the prefecture, while Mother spends all her time in prayer. It takes a full week for Father to finally come home, and he's almost completely spent. You muster enough courage during dinner to ask him what happened outside the city. Father raises his head, his face a bleak, weary mask, and starts muttering his proclamations. It's almost as if he doesn't see you. It's the mine outside the city. They were trying to get to a vein of ore, there was an explosion, the mine caved in, and the black smoke started flowing. Many workers died there. It was all because Count El Velasco, who owns the mines, wanted them to start mining that vein before they were ready. Some of the workers weren't even reborn. Perhaps the twins thought their final time had come. The prefecture has been inundated with complaints from families that have lost their breadwinners, asking the judges for help. Many people also lost their cattle to the black smoke. Excuse me. Count Del Velasco blames gunpowder for the disaster. The prefecture and the newspaper just repeat whatever he says, but it's plain old greed and tyranny of noblemen that are to blame. Why is the welfare of our province always paid for with the commoner lives? Then without warning, he grows silent again. Keep thinking about it for days. Can a human life really end so easily? A single moment of bad luck and you die, only to re-emerge from the temple or the family crypt with a new black mark on your arm. Or worse, you remain where you fell, Dead, never to be reborn again. Ever. The order has decreased and the wealth of Bagra has increased. Peace in our time and peace and affluence. Oh, it's a liquid now. I love 6,000 calories worth of ice cream. Hey, Graham, what's up? I'm gonna puke. During lunch, Father tells you to stay home in the evening and prepare to meet some important guests. Your elder brother Stefan will return home by dinner tonight. Joining him will be your grandfather Gregor Brant, as well as a noble friend of the family. You're excited about your brother's return. It's been years since you last saw him. How has he changed during his years away from home? You and Father await the guests anxiously. The doorbell rings, 3 people are standing outside. Grandfather is the first to come in naturally. He's not changed a bit since his last visit, still eyeing the house with contempt, looking for any reason to demean it. Grandfather is followed by a stately young man dressed in a jacket embroidered in silver, whom you barely recognize as your brother. Stefan casts a glance at your threadbare clothes, your dirty fingernails, and smirks. The last to enter the house is a personable gentleman with a worn-out, wrinkled face. You've heard a lot about this man from Father and Grandfather. He's Baron Augustin Elborn, Stefan's uncle. A family friend and the province's prefect. Which means that he is the head judge and thus Father's superior. Sir Elborn smiles lightly and offers you his hand. And this must be your younger son, Theodore, yes? You have your father's eyes, young man. Father bows slightly to Grandfather and Sir Elborn. But there's a moment of quiet when Stefan's turn comes. Father reaches out to him awkwardly, expecting an embrace. There's a question in Stefan's eyes as he looks at Grandfather. The old man shakes his head almost imperceptibly. We noblemen oughtn't put our emotions on public display, Father. Not even after a lengthy separation. There's no embrace. Instead, Stefan nods to Father curtly. He responds in kind, his face devoid of emotion. After the greeting, you proceed to the sitting room. Elborn is the first to enter. He kisses Mother's hand, and Gloria's too, and tussles Nathan's hair after he sees him hiding by the table. Grandfather acknowledges him with a glum nod. Greetings, Lydia Brant. I remember you were kind to me when I was but a child, and you must be Nathan. You could barely walk when I last saw you. Your elder brother ignores Gloria completely, not even a greeting. You proceed to the dining room in a dignified manner and take your seats. The dishes smell delicious, but they merely punctuate the overwhelming tension at the table. Elborn is the only one with a friendly smile on his face. Thoughts on chimney cleaners? Cancer! Cancer, cancer! The dinner is splendid, Lydia. Did you choose the dishes yourself? You have a truly refined palate. It warms my heart to know Stefan spent his early years with you. Womanly care always does a child good, no matter the estate. Your fork freezes in the air halfway to your mouth. You expect many things from a noble of the sword, but words of praise for a low-born woman are not one of them. Cast a glance at Grandfather, he looks like he is about to choke on his words. It would do my grandson more good to stay at a boarding school among his equals. Please, Gregor, parenting is no less important. Nothing can replace a mother's love, I cannot deny it. Saddens me greatly that my late sister could not be there to raise Stefan. But there was still a family for him, and he's surrounded by love. How could that be bad? A lot of thoughts from barely sleeping at night. Besides, his father was by his side all the while. A father's example is always the best. After all, Robert earned the judge's rank the same way you did. Your grandson will surely follow in your footsteps, and who knows, perhaps even the younger men of the Brant family will contribute to the... You clumsy, low-born cretin! Everybody is startled by his sudden outburst. Grandfather's face turned red. He's glaring at a young lady servant holding a pitcher over a glass. Stefan is sitting right next to her, dabbing a napkin on a fresh stain on his jacket. Begone this instant! The lady servant runs away, leaving the pitcher on a small table by the door. After a quiet moment, Elborn smiles again. It appears the servants have left us, yet dinner is far from over. Worry not, Uncle. There are enough commoners at this table to keep us served with food and drink. Stefan glares at Gloria across the table. She's sitting right next to you. She shrinks down and hunches over under his gaze. Father furrows his brow. Mother covers her mouth with trembling hands. Grandfather sneers. Stefan's gaze does not move. The silence lasts far too long. Then she starts to rise from her chair. If the Brant gentleman is so wishes it. Your hands clench into fists under the table. How can he bring himself to humiliate his own family, his own mother and sister like this? It is all Grandfather's doing. Stefan could not even bring himself to embrace Father without his permission. And if they are noblemen and they have the right to act this way. If there is any way this dinner can become even more unbearable, you don't want to see it. Join Gloria in her plight. Well, that gives me willpower. You rise from the table and help your sister wait on your family. Make small talk over dinner. Act like nothing happened and make small talk with the guests. Insult my brother. Gives me an ingenuity. Bad blood with Stefan. I'm gonna make small talk. More Gregor and more nobility is good for me. That is what I'm going for. Oohing stiffly. Short water taffy. How do they make the ice cream taste like taffy? Moving stiffly, Gloria takes the wine pitcher and starts refilling the glasses. You turn away from your sister, eager to distract yourself from her presence somehow. So you ask Sir Elborn how you may contribute to the family's legacy. He turns to you, clearly relieved. Your eagerness to support the family betrays your noble bearing, young man. It is simple. Always remember that you are a brant. Your family has a path of its own. You must follow in the footsteps of your father and grandfather and learn the judge's trade. You keep asking questions about the life and duty of a nobleman, trying not to look as Gloria continues serving the table. Sir Elborn is eager to explain. A nobleman must always live with honor in mind, but the imperial law stands higher. There are 3 lots and 3 estates, naturally. They can never be equal, yet the law must govern those who live within each estate. There's 3 lots and 3 estates? I only know 2. Is the other lot like a preacher? The priest? The priestly class? That would make a lot of sense. You have a hard time understanding some of the things the prefect of Magra says, but his intellect is stunning. The dinner ends, Gloria takes away the last of the dirty dishes and disappears quietly from the dining room. Sir Elborn cordially bids you farewell. Grandfather and Stefan are still as haughty as ever, but they are clearly pleased. Pleased with what, you wonder? The dinner or Gloria's humiliation? And you go to sleep. Your sister sobbing in the next room loud enough that you hear. Gregor likes me. Fierce defender of the ancient order. Ah, unprincipled nobility. Unprincipled nobility. Oh my god, we only have 3, 4, like 5 checks left before something big. I do not have enough space to get enough stats. Gotta hope for a miracle. A dropped handkerchief. Hot, dry wind sweeps through the city from the barren lands around it. The noble residents of Anazop prefer to remain in their chambers, while the commoners huddle in tents or in the shade of the silver tree. You're on an errand right now. Your father wrote a letter to a noble acquaintance, and you are to deliver it. Thomas, the boy down the street, is tagging along. The 2 of you are inseparable now. The errand's an easy one, so you decide to take this opportunity to loiter around the part of Anazop where the nobles live. So here you are, in the middle of the city square, resting on the ancient brickwork by the old fountain in the merciful shade of the gargantuan silver tree. Thomas is by your side, lazily slouching on the edge of the fountain's base. It's a hard life for commoners like you and me. Either you break your back in a workshop day and night, hoping someone will buy your goods someday, or you become a manservant to some noble. You never get a chance to enjoy life. This is our lot, you remind him. We work and endure and suffer, but Thomas waves your words away. I know all that already. Mother keeps drilling that stuff into me. We must be humble, our strength is patience and persistence. So yeah, I say, but I want to make my fortune no matter what. So how ain't that living by my lot, I ask you? But the lots, they ain't easy. Let's take you for example, Brant. Your father's a nobleman, but even if that didn't make you one, just look at your hands. You never had to work as hard as me, but we have the same lot, so you're supposed to suffer the same. Or look at your father, he's a judge. He toils at the prefecture day and night doing his judging, and he's a noble? I've never seen an Arknian work as hard as he does. This is sanity acting. I'm sleepy. Melted taffy to the ice cream base. Yummy! You shrug. The Arknians are a different race. The book says they were born to rule over humans. They're never commoners, always nobles of the sword by birth. They founded the Empire after subduing all the human kingdoms on the continent. Humans will never be their equals. Arknians are always better, smarter, stronger, and their skin is a noble shade of blue. If the books are to be believed, of course. You've never seen one yourself. Your idle chatter is suddenly interrupted by a rugged-looking guardsman dressed in black and green. He chases you away from the fountain. Common rabble like you have no place here. You hear the clattering of hooves, wheels against the cobblestone, and see flags bearing a coat of arms. A sable serpent on a field of vert. It makes you squirm. It is the Archduke's coat of arms, the Melanidus dynasty. The carriage opens, revealing a young lady in the luxurious dress. You can't look away from her. With dainty shoulders suggesting, but not revealed by the cut of her dress. Her black hair cascading over them, her stately, slim silhouette, her pouty lips and prim nose, and those eyes, dark like the night sky. The way she moves, fluidly, gracefully, and most incredibly of all, her skin glows an azure blue. She's a masterpiece given life. She is an Archnean. Clear the way for me. The Melantidus guardsmen quickly to clear the way to the fountain for the Archnean lady. The searing sun dances on her skin in bizarre patterns. With one elegant motion, she reveals a handkerchief, then leans over the basin and wipes her head and neck with its cool water. Well, I'll be. That's Octavia. That's Octavia Melantidus, our Archduke's own daughter. Video games can't be books. The Archnean turns away and proceeds gracefully back to her carriage. You see something slip out of her hand and fall into the cobblestones right next to you. It's her handkerchief. It is right there by your feet, intricate craftsman, expensive woven fabric, delicately decorated with emerald filigree. Your heart skips a beat when you dare draw the beautiful Archnean's attention in order to return her lost possession. Would you rather not attempt to cross the chasm before you and her? Give the handkerchief back to Octavia. A matter of the heart. Interesting. Takes willpower, and Octavia Melantidus remembers you. Stash the trophy, Thomas and willpower, or keep the handkerchief as a memento. You watch the Archnean lady depart, trying to burn her every movement into your memory. Matters of the heart. Is that one of the chapter? It's a personal. You experience your first romantic feelings. You meet a girl. A revelation of the tree. Sophia saved. An epiphany. Nathan's admonition. Blood tide. Stefan's disgrace. Gloria's secret. I'd rather take the extra willpower. Do I be friends with Thomas, though? I mean, the extra willpower will go a long way. Nah, I'm kind of solo posting right now, I think. I'm gonna keep them a handkerchief as a memento. Watch the Archnean lady depart, trying to burn her every movement into your memory. You carefully observe Lady Octavia as she leaves. Her delicate figure moves through the square like a waking dream, her elegant hands gliding through the air, her hair flowing in a light breeze. Your eyes watch all of her. She returns to the carriage, leaning on a guardsman's shoulder as she gracefully climbs back inside. The soft handkerchief feels warm in your hand. You fold it carefully and hide it in your pocket. The carriage drives away, marked by the thudding rhythm of hooves. Till that day, you associated the Melantidus dynasty with nothing but indifferent cruelty. But now your breast pocket holds the proof of yet another quality they possess. Beauty. I am full of power. I am full of power. Oh my god, I'm already middle adolescence, dude. And I don't have any of the stats I need to actually hit any of these notes. The Quorum Decree. Okay. 12 years old now, you overhear an important conversation. It's a spring night. The mother has just sent you to bed. You walk past Father's study and you hear voices coming from beyond the door. Grandfather is yelling and Father is replying quickly. The elder Brant men are fighting, arguing about the place of the commoners in the city. You sneak outside to avoid Mother's attention and hide next to the open window to the study. Perhaps they'll mention you, too. That low-life idiot had the gall to pay me a visit and beg me for some service. He had the insolence to ask me outright. He thought I was going to support his claim for the chairman's seat in the lesser quorum. How dare he? Father, please listen. Mayor Egmont may be lowborn, but he carries a lot of clout in Magra. He owns 5 iron mines. A friend like him could be quite useful should he become the chairman of the lesser quorum. I don't give a damn who this Egmont is, Robert. What he is, however, is lowborn. His lot is humility and obedience. The likes of him can never rule anything. They're nothing but a flock of sheep that need a firm, noble hand to guide them. I've wasted so many of my years trying to quash that decorum decree, but that accursed Cornelius Tempest did everything in his power to make the Emperor sign that pathetic screed. And now even lowlifes can wield power. True power, Robert. Just the right to discuss the size of the Archduke's tax, nothing more. That is only the beginning. What's next? Are they going to arm the lowlifes now? Make them into judges? If the Empire rejects the foundations of the lots, the entire edifice will crumble. Who am I telling this to? It's already crumbling, and you, my son and heir, are a harbinger of its destruction. Father, I'm begging you. I do not wish to marry a third time. Lydia is a good wife with a dutiful mother to my children. If you'd only allow her to... I will allow them nothing. Neither Egmont nor that freeloading wench of yours. What will you want me to do next? Live by the laws of the lowborn? I can already see where this is going. I'd rather run my own sword through my gut than live in a country where nobles and lowlife share the same rights. My only dream is to see the name of Brant in the Blue Book, but that dream will never come true. They will never call me Venerable El Brant, and it's all because of this marriage of yours. My only hope now is to hear Stefan addressed in such a manner one day. Thank the twins I didn't let you ruin the boy. He's about to grow up a true nobleman. His children will bear the name of El Brant. You have 2 more grandsons. Those spineless milksops from the common lot. They're incapable of anything. The best your middle son could do is sneak into the Imperial College and get ennobled by the mantle, although I have grave doubts about even that. As for the downtrodden Nathan, I hold out no hope for him whatsoever. You hear grandfather's heavy footsteps, the thudding of his cane, and the slamming of the door. Time to sneak back home before you're discovered. Overseer in power. Current balance of power in Magra. Who rules the province? The old nobility is slowly losing power. A reign of terror. School begins, the 11:30. You started studying at home at the school of Sir Tibor and began to master the sciences. Am I liking the playthrough so far? I'm doing the best I can to make the character that I want, but also trying not to die. That could be detrimental, because we did pass up a huge skill bonus by not dying, but literally the last chapter of this game is called Revolution, so I kind of want to save up my deaths for the mortal draw, you know, and not just out there saving people's kids. A storm of expectations. Finally, the day comes when the teachers stop coming to the house, but before you can breathe a sigh of relief and put the books away, Father asks you to come to his study. You've grown, my son. It's time for you to continue your education away from home. I've chosen a deserving school for you, Sir Tibor's School for Children of Noblemen and Well-Off Commoners. Naturally, it is not a boarding school for nobles, so you will study there during the day and come home in the evening. You share the news with your best friend, Thomas. Sir Tibor's school, eh? Yeah, I gotta ask my parents to send me there too, as soon as they get the coin together. Father says his workshop has toiled day and night for years to save it for my education. The school is based in an ancient estate of Artnian design. The classrooms are tall and spacious, with massive benches. The sounds of scraping quills and lectures on history and imperial law and theology echo into the vaulted ceilings. The rules are strict, the lessons tiring. Restless Thomas keeps getting distracted, and several times he gets his hand slapped with a stick for it. Every teacher demands flawless mastery of their subject. 40% chance I get shot in the head? Yeah, I would say there's like a 50% chance I get shot in the head 4 times. Each day, Father asks you about your studies. You've already told him twice how Magra joined the Empire and how the Noble's Court of Honor is different from the Commoner's Civil Court and the City Prefecture, but Father keeps pressuring you to work even harder. When it's time to go to bed, Mother will not let you go to sleep until you recite a newly learned prayer for her. And when it's time to go to school, you promise her every day that you will behave with great humility and steer clear of insolent behavior of any kind, for you still live by the Commoner's lot, and that lot is hardworking and suffering. The first month in school draws to a close, and the teachers announce that there will be exams at the end of the month to determine the best and the worst students in each subject. Father insists that you devote all your spare time to studying law and history if you wish to follow in his footsteps. But when you speak to Mother every day, you start considering theology. You still remember the revelations and divine visions that came to you in your earliest years. You've only one more day until the exam. You have locked yourself away in your room, and it's already getting late. Your desk is covered with handwritten notes surrounded by leather-bound books. Just looking at them makes you queasy, but you have to read through all of them again, at least for one of your subjects. There's a nagging thought beyond your mind. Thomas ended up in big trouble the other day, got into a fight with several boys who live next street. They heard about your wooden fortress and got in an outrage by the fortification built by commoners. They swore to dismantle it tonight. Thomas swore he would defend the fortress until the end. Perhaps you should abandon the books to rescue a friend in need. Then you hear little brother Nathan knocking at the door. He stands there shyly, not saying a word. He often does that, standing still and staying speechless until you speak first or he runs away. This time he actually says something. The door is locked. Are you okay? Theodore? Is there anything I can do to help? Your head is spinning. This is the last evening before the school exam. If you fail, your family will be very disappointed. You have to refresh your memory on law or theology, either one or the other. But Thomas and your fort are about to be stormed. Why today of all days? You grind your teeth in rage at the thought. Nathan's by the door, trying not to bother you. He wants to help you the only way he can, for reasons known only to him. Will you accept his help? Focus on law and history gives me nobility and Robert Brant interest. Go help Thomas, sneak out of the house and run to your wooden fort. Study theology will not be happening. Spend a moment with Nathan. That gives me willpower. Accept your brother's offer of help. That could work, but I'm gonna go help Thomas, I think. I do want the ingenuity points. No, I kind of want to study. I'm gonna study. I'm gonna take the risk and study. Focus on law and history. Sorry, Thomas. You push Nathan out of the room, he cannot possibly help you prepare for the exam. Soon your eyes start to hurt from all the legal terms and chronologies and titles of Imperial Edict. You repeat everything, every single line of it, until your head hurts and your vision begins to blur. When Father walks in, he chuckles in approval. You fall asleep right there amidst the books. The morning comes, you barely have time to wake up before you're walking into the menacing edifice of school. Time for law. All the students sit still, glued to their benches in terror. The teacher's voice singles you out. If a commoner insults a nobleman's honor, how ought he be dealt with according to imperial law? Bring the commoner to the prefecture where the judge will sentence him to corporeal punishment. And what if the noble takes a commoner's life by negligence or whim? The noble is fined by the provincial authorities. Surprising even yourself, you give the correct answer to these questions, and many more that follow. The next subject is the history of the Blessed Archnean Empire. You masterfully recount the history of every province as they merge with the Empire, from Monia to Magra, when you recite the names of every tempest who has ruled the Empire. You conquer every question the teacher asks you without confusing a single date. You get the highest grade in law and history and an average grade in theology. You relay the teacher's praise to Father over dinner. He smiles, pleased with you. Well done, my son. I can see how hard you have been working. Keep at it, and you will be among the Empire's greatest servants. I am proud of you. Well, my father likes me. I am truly honorable. Your education continues. As you study imperial law, you come to realize that there's a certain hierarchy even within the noble estate. It seems your father's status is not quite equal to that of more eminent human and Argnian gentry. You return home with this new information at your disposal. Father asks you about school after dinner, as he always does. And what's the difference between nobles of the mantle and those of the sword, Theodore? You already have an answer ready. The latter's status is hereditary, meaning that it is passed down from father to son. After the Arcnians, nobles of the sword are the most eminent humans in the Empire. They own land and estates. They fill offices of the highest ranks, and the names of their bloodlines are preserved within the Great Blue Book. Nobility of the sword can only be granted only by the overseer of the province or the emperor himself. And how are such eminent people addressed? With the honorific L, before their last name, you respond. Sir Augustin Elborn, for example. Father pats you on the shoulder, clearly pleased. And what about the Arcnians and their status? What have you learned about them? The Arcnians stand above all human gentry. They're born to rule over humans regardless of their titles. No L is required when addressing them. They need no honorifics, for the names of their ancient dynasties are known to all. Father nods somberly. Yes, we can never be their equals. Do whatever an Arcnian tells you and never defy them. Ever. And what about grandfather and me? Where do we stand as nobles? Oh, fuck. Well, it's easy. Father and grandfather are nobles of the mantle. This title cannot be inherited, but it can be earned by any commoner as a reward for great service to the Empire in the Legion, or as a civil servant. Father suddenly grows quiet and looks you in the eye intently. Yes, and someday you will earn a noble title too, son. All in due time. Sons of the nobility. Sir Tiber's school teaches children of all stripes. Nobles of the mantle and low-born parents can send their sons here, and every passing day the children and noblemen invent new ways to snub and bully the commoners. Most of the time, the bully leading them is Diedrich, the son of the secretary for the city hall and self-important snob. The sons of the noblemen never pick on you, however. They know that your father has been ennobled by the mantle. However, Diedrich and his retinue soon choose Thomas as their favorite victim. Time and time again, you ask your friend not to pay them any mind, but again and again, Thomas grows angry and snaps at their self-satisfied mockery. It's early morning, the students are busy, flocking to the classrooms for the next lesson. You wave Thomas over when you see him. He waves back at you, and then a bucket full of slop splashes on him. Needless to say, it's the work of Diedrich and his entourage. You hear his familiar creaky laughter. The tailor's son stinks. How dare he sit next to decent folk? Thomas clenches his fist. You're dead, Diedrich. He throws himself at Diedrich's haughty entourage like a soldier ready to wage war. He attacks them first. This is just what they expected, and they are free to retaliate. He barely makes one movement before 4 pairs of hands grab him at once. Diedrich sneers and kicks your friend in the belly. Thomas gasps for air and starts coughing. You stand between them as Diedrich readies another kick. The nobleman's son cocks an eyebrow. Why do you mingle with commoners? He asks. Your father's a noble of the mantle. You ought to be friends with your own kind. Your equals, not the dirt beneath your feet. Behind him, 4 boys hold Thomas down as he struggles furiously. The other students are watching you, frozen in fear. Dietrich haughtily extends a hand to you. He clearly expects you to shake it. What will you do? Robert Brant appreciates this. This gives me a rep point. He's right. Being friends with the sons of nobles can benefit your family. Admonish the nobleman's son. Children of parents who have been ennobled by the mantle still bear the commoner's lot. Turn him over to the teachers. You sick the school authorities on Dietrich and his retinue. Challenge Dietrich to a fight. Nope. We're going to turn him over to... We're going to fucking snitch. We're snitching! I'm snitching! I'm snitching! You fold your arms across your chest and declare that Dietrich and his followers will pay dearly for their insolence. Their parents may be nobles, but they are not yet nobles themselves. Here at school, we're all equals. Dietrich's entourage is about to swarm you too, but the teacher of Imperial Law comes into the room just in time. Everybody immediately returns to their seats. Once the lesson's over, you tell the teacher how Dietrich and his friends have been starting fights and picking on people. They are the children of nobles, yet not nobles themselves, which means they are guilty of defying their lot and encouraging other students to do the same. The law teacher furrows his brow when he hears this. He assembles all the students and admonishes them. Any student caught in defiance of his lot will no longer be welcome at the school. The twins are always watching over us all, and the school will not suffer the presence of troublemakers who defy their will. Nice. The nobleman's son reluctantly agreed. There is no good reason to risk picking on lowborns when the punishment is so high. To say Dietrich is angry at you would be an understatement, but he can no longer hurt you or Thomas. The bullying stops. I'm bright. I am bright, as they say. Bright white light. Ooh, ooh, ooh. It's 11:30 The silver tree. I don't think I have enough of anything to to hit the revelation. Well, I can hit the revelation of the tree, it looks like, but I don't have enough stat points for either Stefan's Disgrace or Gloria's Secret. Might be able to do the Blood Tide, though. I want to do Gloria's Secret first, if I can. Your theology teachers tell you more about Anizot. It is more than just a provincial capital. It's also a sacred place blessed by the gods. It is where the twin gods' first disciples spilled their blood, and from that blood grew the sacred silver tree. Its enormous foliage hangs over the city. You see its branches in the sky every day, but you have never approached the trunk of the tree itself. Today you will be taking your first trip to the silver tree. Your class is visiting a service on the great temple by the tree's very roots. Thanks to your theology teacher, you and the other students will witness this landmark of the twins' advent up close. Everybody's excited. Soon you and the other boys enter the slums surrounding the church district of Anizot. The roots are pulsating under your feet. They spread underground all throughout the area. Pathetic, cramped hovels and filthy streets surround the trunk of the tree. They're home to paupers, day laborers, and preachers. The people of the district bow humbly to you and point you toward the temple. They seem at peace despite the abject poverty in which they live. Have I seen earthquakes recently? No. I've seen some of the earthquakes that have happened, Graham. I heard about the one that happened in Venezuela. God damn, like a 7.1 or some shit like that? Oh, they were already having a tough time of it, and then they got slammed by an earthquake, you know? All who live directly beneath the tree are filled with its divine grace, your teacher says. People come here to make peace with the world and their fate in it. Your class is unusually quiet. Everyone is listening to the rustling of the leaves and the underground beating of the roots. The sky above you is obscured by the tree's canopy. You find the Temple of the Twin Gods right next to the tremendous trunk of the tree. It almost seems a part of it. There's a crowd there, pilgrims dressed in traveling clothes, paupers and beggars, common people of the city, and the occasional well-dressed noble. There are arguments among some people who are gathered in separate small groups. Many people are wandering around staring upward at the tree's branches. The tree impresses you with its might, calm emanating from it. You're filled with a desire to sit down and think of the world, to learn something about yourself, to touch the silver white bark and hearken to the whispering leaves. You're distracted enough to fall back from the rest of your classmates. You notice a small path. It should take you right next to the trunk. A tall, red-haired woman walks out of the crowd of pilgrims. She's wearing a worn white robe. She's no longer young, but her face is youthful and covered in freckles. Her hands clutch a book. You've never seen this lady pilgrim before, yet she looks at you almost as if she has recognized a lifelong friend. She beckons to you and says her name, Mathilde, a preacher from Astynia. What she says next shakes you to your very core. It's commendable to see a young man so keen to learn the teachings of the twins, she says. Yet you will never follow the light of truth within the walls of the temple. Inside you will find only lies about the lots, the erring words of Prophet Isatius, sanctified by the passage of centuries. Yet anyone who sets out to read the accounts of the twins' own lives knows that they never so much as mention the lots. The red-haired preacher's words frighten you. They clash with everything you've heard from Mother, everything you have been taught at school. The lots are a lie? You freeze in fear. Should you argue with Mathilde or ask her for more information? Or should you treat her as a madwoman and catch up with your classmates? You suddenly feel a small, warm hand grasp your own. You see a girl right next to you. She's just a little older than you, wearing a black dress, threadbare yet almost spotless. Her hair is covered by a handkerchief with only a single golden lock showing. Her brown eyes are burning with rage, her hand pulling you away from the red-haired preacher. You stare in confusion at the strange young girl, your cheeks flushed by the sudden touch. There's just a bit of color on her cheeks too, but then she starts speaking to you quickly. Don't listen to her, she's dangerous. Come to the temple with me, only there you will see the truth. You stand there surrounded by the crowd of praying pilgrims and the sounds of shuffling feet, torn between two people you've never seen before, and each of them expects you to follow her. But all the while you hear whispering of the wind in the tree's branches. The branches reach out for you, almost as if the tree wishes to speak to you itself. Can you hear its voice? Follow the girl into the temple. A matter of the heart, fall in love again. Less willpower, Jean is now acquainted. What truth will you learn inside the temple? Stay with the red-haired pilgrim, spirituality, and Jean down. What else does she have to say? Leave them and approach the tree. The tree, it knows more than any human. Given to the epiphany, you open yourself to the tree and listen to it speak. I would like a revelation of the tree. Matters of the heart. I would like to stay with the red-haired pilgrim, though. What else does she have to say? I will give in to the tree. I wouldn't want to increase my spirituality, but I'll take a revelation. Someone struck Sao Paulo. Oh my goodness. That's scary, dude. That's scary. You step away from the girl in black and the woman in white, your eyes transfixed by the tremendous towering trunk of the tree. For some odd reason, you recall Mother's ant farm, with the ants hard at work inside, and her face as she explained its laws. It's a fleeting, distant memory, a child's realization about the workings of the world at large, and at this very moment, you see yourself and all the other people for the ants they are. You cannot look away from the tree. The people around you begin to fade away. Their voices melt together and disappear. The world that surrounds you feels frozen and still now. The slow swaying of the rustling branches is all there is. The branches catch you and raise you up. You soar up in the air, higher and higher along the trunk of the silver tree. The branches, the leaves, their light is blinding. Their light holds you up and embraces you. And at this moment you realize something as clear as the daylight beating down on you from high above. This tree is divine. There's no doubt left in you. The tree was planted by the twin gods and left in this land, an ever-living proof and a mark of the twins' existence. And the tree, it speaks to you, speaks in a language you understand, in the language you learned long before you were born. It speaks of soothing love, of crystal-clear law, of love and law intertwining to bring the miracle of life to you. From this high up, you can clearly see all the land below. From here, you see the entire empire, embroidered with shining thread of providence, illuminated by the twins' presence. It takes you but a moment to finally realize what the teachers have been talking about all this time. The fates and lots of the people, the workings of life in the empire, it was all created and arranged by the twins, and absolutely everything bears their mark, their design, and inspiration. And it is in this world that you were given life. Somehow, the tree seems to realize that the revelation is now fully within you. It gently lowers you back down to the ground. You glide down between the glowing branches illuminated by what you've just seen. You spoke to them. You came back to your senses. You're standing still by the tree, firmly rooted to the ground. The branches release you, and you are once again aware of the pilgrim's prayers and the noise of the crowd. The young girl in black is staring at you. She's clearly agitated. My uncle's a priest, and he told me the twins can choose to speak with you through the tree. I've never seen it happen before. Jean starts asking you questions. She wants you to tell her what you just experienced, but you cannot speak. It's so difficult to see the temple's familiar interior again, to see the district around it and the sky above. The memory of the sight from atop the silver tree now gleams in your mind. I just hope you'll share your revelation with me someday. Don't worry, I'll get it. My name's Jean. I'm an acolyte. I work in the temple. I help my uncle clean the grounds and cook food for the poor, and I also greet the worshippers. People come here all the time. Many are lost, and they don't know where to go once they're inside. But nobody should feel lost in this place. The temple's for all the estates. Brazil won't be destroyed anytime soon, no need to worry. True. If it isn't the next target after Greenland. Bro can't even fucking take over Greenland. And fucking England sent one dude to help defend it. But then you hear your theology teacher calling to you. It's time for your class to return to the school. Before you leave, Jean suddenly takes your hand. You can't help but blush. Please listen to me. Few people ever see these things, the twins. They were speaking to you and you heard them. It's a sign. You should become a priest. You'll be guiding those who cannot hear the twins. You'll be helping their souls find the way to the top of the pillar. It's the most honorable calling in the world. You say goodbye to the young acolyte. Yet as you return to your ordinary life, Jean's words remain in your memory from that day forth. Should've went with the woman in fucking white, dude. You experienced a revelation by the sacred silver tree. Ah! That's a shadow of the past. The blood tide. The blood tide. Another school day has ended. You're still making your way home, still mulling over the things you learned from your teachers, the founding of the Empire, the eternal and unshakable rule of a single dynasty, the three estates, each with its own rights, what an odd sort of order the world has, and yet so mysterious. At least, it sounds that way when your teacher talks about it. This game was a solid choice to stream. I like it. We fucking ascended to heaven. Mother is waiting for you on the porch. She smiles gently when she sees you, and yet her expression still shows great concern. Father left on a trip for several distant Mogren towns a few days ago. Since then, Mother has been trying to tell you something, but she seems uncertain. Son, could you put your things away and come pray with me? You join Mother in prayer to the twins. She prays with fervent sincerity, her head bowed low, reciting the words of obedience to them and their greater design in a barely audible whisper. You repeat after her, just as she has taught you ever since you were a little boy. When the prayer ends, Mother sighs and turns to you. Theodore, my son, you're 13 now. You'll be grown soon. It's time you learned about certain things that are important to our family, difficult things. It's about your father and me, about our marriage. You gaze curiously into Mother's eyes. I'm sure you've wondered about this before. Your father's a nobleman of the mantle, so how could he marry a commoner and another man's child? But you see, Theodore, your father, when his first wife, Amelia Elborn, died, it was a painful blow to him. He lost the will to live, lost all purpose. He felt like his own destiny was cut short that day as well. And then he met me. You know, the troubles I had in the past. I went to the prefecture as a petitioner to ask them for help, protection, justice. When I was a young girl, I worked at a small shop that sold crockery and dishes. A nobleman took a liking to me, may his name be forever forgotten. The twins knew I was humbled and honored his lot to rule, but he took me by force. Mother falls silent, summoning the courage to continue. Gloria is that nobleman's daughter. But he was outraged. How could I have the gall to burden him with low-born progeny? He turned me out into the street with that little baby girl in my arms. Mother's voice is shaking now. You take her hand tenderly. I had no home, no honor, nowhere to go, no one to help me. When I went to the prefecture, I didn't really think the judges there would help me find justice against my former master. But when Sir Robert heard my plea, his eyes met mine, and I believe that, at the very moment, the twins themselves granted him the gift of their love. Your father told me that there was nothing he could do to make that detestable nobleman marry me, but he would never abandon me and my baby Gloria, and if I agreed, he would take me into his own home. Tears are running down Mother's cheek. And I knew it, my son. I knew how much his honor and reputation would suffer, but caring for me brought him back to life. It's like he experienced another sacrament. He rediscovered his noble purpose, his lot to rule and protect and care for others, but his decision to marry me, he's still paying for it today. Your father had the courage to defy your grandfather and the founder of his bloodline. If only you knew how much he had to endure, my son. If only you knew the despicable rumors he heard about the Brants all over the Anazot. It was only thanks to the efforts of Sir Gregor that the Brant bloodline managed to hang on to what little remained of its reputation, and now the noble families have all but forgotten about that scandal. Thank the twins. Mother falls silent. She looks at you intently. Do you understand what she's trying to tell you? My son, I'm not telling you this just to share the pain of my past. I have no reason to complain. Even Sir Gregor has accepted me through gritted teeth. But you need to understand the heavy burden our family must bear, including our scandalous marriage and Gloria's foul origin. Gloria, she could never be a Brant. Even if the elder Brants agreed, the news would stir up an old scandal in the minds of high society. If that were to happen, Theodore, they would see even your birth as illegitimate. Mother sighs heavily. What I told you just now is something you have to know, son. You're about to enter adult life. By my lot, I must be humble. I cannot tell you how to treat your family. But may I ask you a question, now that you will know all this? Do you still see Gloria as your sister? Accept Gloria as your sister. Distance myself. Evade the question. Yeah. Regardless of origins, Gloria will always be family. Of course. I don't need the extra nobility point. What is good for the family is good for you. You will be more wary when dealing with Gloria from now on. I could get a nobility point, though. Yeah. Why not? Filled with determination, you assure Mother that Gloria is and will always be your sister. You want Gloria to be a brant, too. You want her to be a part of your family. Who cares what the nobles of Anazat say? Mother beams with quiet joy when she hears this. Ah, Theodore. If only you knew how happy that would make me, to have our family united at last. However, the joy on her face quickly gives way to concern. I already owe good Sir Robert a debt I can never repay. He's given my daughter so much, a home, an education, his care and advice. The Brant bloodline could suffer so much from Gloria's existence. We should all learn to accept her status as it is. Just then you hear Gloria carefully knock at the door of Mother's chambers. Mother, Theodore, I couldn't find you. You happily greet your sister. Yes, she is your sister. No old secrets can ever change that. Mother gives you and Gloria a kiss on the forehead and returns to her prayers. You and your sister walk downstairs together. Mother is alone by her bedside now, thanking the twins with a quiet prayer for the Brant family they have given her. You hope they can hear her. Hope they can hear her. No family unity, though. Everybody likes me, but no family unity. Sure, brother. Oh, the flash and the flame. The flash and the flame. Okay. You're 6'7" now. Another theology lesson. Today's sermon is about the priests and why the clergy is the only one of the three estates with the right to interpret the lots and guide the other two estates accordingly. Thomas sits next to you, huffing and puffing as he fervently writes down the teacher's every word. But you've heard all this from Mother many times before, so you take this moment to daydream. A little. Father promised to take you to the capital once your studies are complete. But the teacher suddenly casts a stern look around the lecture hall and raises his voice at one of your classmates. A boy by the name of Brian jumps out of his seat. The teacher asks him to repeat what he just said. Brian freezes and seems to shrink. He tries to muster a reply, but nothing comes out. The class becomes agitated. Someone's about to get punished. The teacher now looms over Brian. The boy's cheeks are flushed and his eyes are covered in tears. You all watch the teacher's iron-bound book as he raises it sharply, about to strike. Brian shrieks and raises a hand in front of him. A sudden flash. The teacher screams and buries his face in his arms. His hair is ablaze and his skin is covered in horrible burns. It's magic, real magic, just like the books in the Magra Rebellion. The class freezes in shock. There's a dull thud, the iron-bound book falls to the floor. Brian's hysterical laughter rends the silence. He stands up from his bench, fire in his eyes and sparks at his fingertips. There are screams now. Students run for the door. The teacher tries to extinguish his burning hair. Brian snaps his fingers, and the books of Vicious on the desks turn into pillars of flame. He laughs and raises his arms, and the curtains catch fire. The screams grow louder as his fire howls. Brian's face is tense and violent. His mouth is spewing flames, and his whole body is shaking with laughter. He steps toward the door. You and Thomas glance at each other. He's gonna burn the whole school down. Your friend's determination makes you brave. You run behind Brian and knock him off his feet. You both tumble to the floor. Even through his clothes, his body sears your flesh. Brian screams, convulses, and grabs Thomas by the shoulders with his burning hands. Thomas howls but stays put, then knocks Brian senseless with several fierce blows to the head. There are servants fussing around the room now. They put out the fire and take away the teacher, his body covered in horrible burns. You and Thomas remain next to Brian, who is laying on the floor, silent. Soon, 3 men in black cloaks enter the doors of the school, each bearing an edict sealed with silver. The Inquisition. You and Thomas are told to step away from the witch. They lock Brian's neck in a silver collar and take him away. One of the Inquisitors remained behind to tell the students what happened. That was magic, he explains. The ungodly power that twists the minds of men into savage instruments of murder. Only the sacred shackles of silver can hold it at bay. Only the power of the twins can save us all from this evil grasp. The next day you are forbidden from ever mentioning Brian's name again. He is no more. Nice, Thomas. You and I did best, bud. That's the nobleman's lot. A great day looms ahead. 100 years ago, Uther Tempest was anointed to rule over the Empire, blessed by the twins themselves. The Emperor's reign continues into its 2nd century. Celebrations in honor of the Tempest dynasty are held throughout the city, and the school is closed for 2 weeks because of that. On one of these evenings, Father tells everyone that Grandfather is going to bring Stefan back home for the holiday. They say families should celebrate the day of anointment together. You could benefit from your elder brother's company. With his noble education, Stefan might be able to teach you how noblemen are supposed to act. Soon Stefan arrives. He now handles himself differently. When it comes to ordering servants around and ignoring Gloria, he's still Grandfather's double, but he's more grown up now and far less haughty to you. It's a dark winter evening. A damp, cold wind sweeps through the city from the barren lands of Magra. You and Stefan are sitting in the library. He's telling you all about Eterna, the capital of the Empire. It's full of so many wonders. The Imperial Palace, the enormous Temple of the Twins, the Military Academy, the Imperial College. You've read so much about these places yet. He has seen them firsthand. Nathan enters the library. He looks concerned. I can't find Gloria. I looked everywhere. She's not in the attic, not in the sitting room, not in the kitchen. I heard she wanted to sneak off to the ruins of Charmilanidis Palace. She could be lost in there. You and Stefan exchange looks. Charmilanidis, the rebellious duke. The ruins of his palace are a dangerous place. Some children claim his tainted magic still lingers there, which means you absolutely have to make your way there and back again to prove you're not afraid of the long-dead witch. Your brother tells you to wait. He leaves you and soon returns with a sword and sheath. Get ready, Theodore. We're going to rescue Gloria. She must have gone in the ruins in search of inspiration for another one of her little rhymes. The two of you instruct Nathan to tell your parents you've gone for a walk in the square. You and your elder brother head outside. You're confused by Stefan's actions. He refuses to treat Gloria like a human being. So why is he still so determined to rescue her? Stefan notices your expression. Are you wondering why I care about Gloria all of a sudden? I can't act in any other way, can I? The law of honor compels me to protect my family. Gloria will never be a brant, but father still took her into our house. We must respect his seniority and defend Gloria like she's one of our own. You're a brant too, noble or not, which means it's your duty to aid me. The ruins of Charmilanidis' palace span an entire district. The palace was abandoned centuries ago, and its remnants are overgrown with thick underbrush. The ruined palace is empty. Nothing but cold wind blowing over crumbling brickwork. Even the worst scum of the land steer clear of this place. You make your way through the ruins until you spot scattered sheets of paper covered in writing. Your sister's writing. You hear loud laughter coming behind you. Behind a dilapidated stone wall nearby, you pull yourself up to peer over it. Gloria is lying on the ground, face down, twitching and sobbing. A gaggle of drunk young thugs surround her, cackling and swinging their arms about. You hear their shouts. Look at the lass, sitting there rhyming words together. She thinks she's all noble. But don't you worry, you low-born tart, we're gonna teach you your place. One of the louts spits on Gloria as she lies there. Get away from her this instant, you bastards, or I'll spill your guts. They respond with mocking laughter. Stefan draws his sword. The street thugs recoil in fear, but they soon notice that he is only one armed man against many. They start reaching out for sticks and stones. Stay by my side, don't let them flank me. Stefan's hand shakes, but he looks ready for battle. He's outnumbered for a moment. You hesitate. Perhaps it might be better to run for the nearby district and call for guards. The young thugs are already armed with makeshift weapons. They start approaching you and Stefan cautiously. Charge the attackers. Stefan Brant, no relation. Stefan Brant, increase of relation, +2. Grab the heaviest rock you find and get ready to fight. Nobility, increase willpower down. Follow your brother's orders. Call the guards. You need to fight Stefan, run for help. This decreases my... Call for guards. Conditions met, relation, Stefan Brant, bad blood. That's funny. This does give me a nobility point. No. Call the guards. He might die, but he's a big boy. He can handle it. I guess I should follow my brother's orders, but that would take a willpower. Leave him to fight. He's chill. The louts try to flank Stefan and surround him. Your brother's sword thrusts and feints methodically like a training bout. The thugs keep dodging and jumping away. They've managed to stay safe so far. If things continue like this, soon one of them will flank Stefan, kick the sword out of his hand, and bring him down. The ruffians are paying no attention to you, however. Stefan slashes with his sword. One of the young men falls. The others rush at your brother. You get Gloria back on her feet as she stares at you in astonishment. It's time to find the guards. You find guards dressed in the Archduke's colors patrolling the nearby district. You tell them that a gang of lowborn thugs have assaulted a young nobleman. But when you make your way back, the louts' bodies are already fading away. Stefan's on his feet, his sword sinking in the last foe left standing. He smiles at you faintly, then his eyes roll back into his head and he collapses. The guards help you bring Stefan back home. Grandfather sends for the doctor the moment he sees his favorite grandson is unconscious. The doctor quickly brings Stefan back to his senses and bandages the injuries on his left arm. Sir Gregor never leaves Stefan's side. You acted like a true nobleman, Stefan. You fought for the family's honor, even though you needn't have risked your life for that freeloading wench. The burden of a noble is a tough one to bear. We must obey our lot so that the lowly estate may toil for theirs, but when the lowborn scum grow insolent, we must be there to put them in their place. And I fully believe that, thanks to you, the Brant name will be written in the Blue Book, my boy. Your deeds will forever be remembered in our family's blood tide, and all of us will be there. You, your father, all of us. Words cannot express how proud I am of you. You got nothing out of that. You leave your brother's side without a word. Grandfather will never recognize you as Stefan's equal and father's true heir. He will never treat you as part of the family. He thinks he will not add a single worthy deed to the family's blood tide. You, Nathan, mother, he acts like all of you are unworthy to even bear the Brant name. Had you acted different that night, would grandfather be proud of you? Who knows? No thanks. I'm taking ingenuity. I'm enterprising, as they say. Now I need one more for, Trial of the Assailants. Before long, the entire city hears about how a gang of lowborn thugs assaulted Stefan Brant. Grandfather ensures that the brash young men are found. Some of them are taken into custody as soon as lesser death releases them. Grandfather seeks vengeance on those who hurt his favorite grandson. Prefect Elborn, a friend of your family, promises to personally oversee the trial and ensure that justice is served. Stefan and Grandfather decide to stay in Anazot until the trial ends. Grandfather demands true death for every single assailant. You ask Father to explain something. How can a legal court sentence criminals to true death? How can worldly judgment overrule the twins' law? Your words are true, my son. Their law is second to none, yet the twin gods also made the empire in all its ways. The court of law exists to execute the laws of heaven here in the world. Should the court of law sentence a person to death, the law high above will always enforce it. So, every execution brings true death. The commoners who assaulted Stefan, a born nobleman, have committed a grave offense. There's no doubt about that. And yet, according to the Emperor's decree, even commoners have a right to defend themselves when they are about to face true death. This means that all of us will have to appear at the trial and testify before the court. Evening comes. Gloria visits your room. She looks crestfallen and her fingers keep reaching for her long hair. You put away your schoolbook and ask what's bothering her. The trial's tomorrow. I thought I was going to appear there too as an eyewitness after all this whole mess started because of me, but Sir Robert isn't even going to mention that I was there. Can you imagine? He says it would ruin the case. Why am I always in the way? Nobody ever mentions me, nobody ever listens to me. It's like I don't even exist. And I thought Stefan standing up for me finally meant something. Maybe I will become a part of the family. But no, everything's back to usual now. Gloria tries her best to hold back the tears. You do your best to comfort her. Father just needs to keep the family out of trouble. If Sir Robert believes that I only bring trouble, why did he took me into the house at all? Gloria runs away. You return to your books, but you can't help but get lost in thought. What if they told the court you weren't there either? How would you feel then? There's a knock at the door. It's Father. He closes the door behind him and sits next to you. There's an exhausted look about him. Son, you'll be testifying before the court tomorrow. Please remember what I'm about to tell you. Gloria wasn't at the ruins at all. You went there with your brother to inspect this historic site. The lowborn man insulted Stefan first and then attacked him. Stefan had managed to deal with the assailants on his own by the time the guards intervened. Gloria will cast suspicion on the case. If we mention her very existence to the court, the reputation of the family will suffer. Your grandfather will never forgive me if that happens. Do not let me down. We're all counting on you. You recall the night of the fight like it was a moment ago. Gloria sprawled on the feet of those cackling thugs, her poetry, her greatest treasure scattered on the ground. She thinks she's all noble. Those were the words they spat down at her. But doesn't Grandfather mean the same thing when he denies that she is a part of the family? Good night, Ramaru. But if you do what Father tells you, the trial will end quickly. Those commoners will face true death for assaulting a noble. If you mention Gloria, things will get complicated and you cannot predict how the trial will end. Which is more important to you? What is right? What is just? Support Father gives me a reputation and less unity. Increase for Robert, less for Gloria. You will do as Father told you and avoid mentioning Gloria at the court. Lie to Father gives me an ingenuity. You agree with Father now, but you will tell the truth later. Gloria, Sir Gregor Brant, and Robert. Convince Father to change his mind. Unity, nobility, spirituality, willpower, Gregor Brant. You determine to change Father's opinion. Make sure Gloria gets the fair treatment she deserves. Oh, I really want this last ingenuity point. I'm gonna have to support Father, though, I think. Oh, I have no idea how it will go. Oh, that'll be strange. That'll be strange. That'll be strange indeed. It's okay. I don't think he'll hate me. Lie to Father. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, let's do it. Give me the last ingenuity point they need. I'll take it. You nod in agreement. You will follow the family's plan for the trial to the letter. A faint smile appears on Father's fatigued face. Thank you, son. This is an important case for our family and for me as well. I appreciate your support. You watch Father leave your room and consider your options. When should you mention Gloria during your testimony? There's no way you will pretend she was not there. That would not be fair in the slightest. The day comes. The trial takes place in the lesser hall of the city's prefecture. Sir Elborn himself presides as the judge. You're seated next to Father and Stefan. You are to testify to the court one after another. Your brother's testimony follows Father's plan to the letter. The young commoners insulted you as you were both walking by the ruins, and they assaulted you. Stefan defended you. You are next to speak. You tell the court the truth about that night, how the thugs humiliated Gloria, how Stefan and you came to help her, and how Stefan defended his half-sister. There are confused whispers in the hall. The commoners on trial cry out, it's the truth. Gloria was reciting poetry. They simply told her she was defying her lot. The situation was changed by this account. Stefan was not acting in defense of himself or another. He merely assaulted them first in order to retaliate against those who had insulted his half-sister. Grandfather's face turns red, yet he remains silent. All emotion disappears from father's face. Your brother turns to look at you, disappointed. Sir Elborn rises to deliver the sentence. There's bitter regret in his voice as he speaks. With this new evidence in mind, the court of Anazat finds you not guilty of assaulting Stefan Brant, a nobleman. However, you're found guilty of disgraceful conduct and injury to a noble. All 4 defendants are sentenced to 20 lashes each. The carriage is silent as your family drives home. Father asks you to go to the sitting room. You need to talk, alone. The tone of his voice does not bode well for you. The sitting room doors slam shut behind you. You have absolutely no idea what you've done. Why'd you have to be so foolish and stubborn? Why? Explain to me. Father's furious. You try to explain yourself. You only wanted him to treat your sister fairly. Father's face turns red, just like grandfather's did. Treated fairly, he says. His sister, he says. Get out of my sight this instant, both of you. You're in for a world of punishment, young man. You and your sister. You're nothing but a disappointment to me. Be gone. Next, father gives his orders. You and Gloria are flogged together, brutally enough to ensure you learn your lesson. Once this ordeal ends, your sister thanks you through tears. At least you tried to stand up for her. Your back will not hurt less for that, but at least you feel better now. When Gloria comes back home the day after, there's a fresh bruise on her cheek, her dress is covered in dust, and her hair is disheveled. You ask her about it, but she does her best to pretend nothing is wrong. When you ask about the bruise, she says she just fell. Ooh, sorry, Dad. You meet those 4 commoners on the street a few days later. They thank you mockingly and tease you mercilessly. Sir Theodore Brant, they call you sarcastically. You walk away as fast as you can. They laugh behind your back. Whatever happens now, Stefan will not protect you or Gloria anymore. Enterprising. That's right. Pure ingenuity. The poets. This event is a consequence of your previous actions. Today, you and Thomas are to explore the streets of the Castle District. You delve deep into the district, right to the old siege walls of Anazat. The city needs these walls no longer. There are no more enemies left for the Empire to fight since the twins descended and chose the Tempest dynasty to rule the Empire. It has spread from sea to sea, bringing its rule and peace for many generations. The 2 of you gaze in awe at the old charcoal black marks on the former fortress walls. The same magic wielders during the Char Melanidus rebellion could conjure gusts of fire with their own hands. The rebellious Duke fought against the Emperor and the Church of the Twin Gods in the days of yore, but nothing remains of this rebellion now save for scorched ruins and parched land throughout Magra. You and your friends study the old walls and daydream about the battles that took place here during the rebellion. But then you hear a muffled voice coming from somewhere below the ground. You look around and find a hole in the brickwork where the sounds are coming from. Naturally, you take a peek. You see a half-ruined hall built below the ground and a handful of young men and women standing there in the dark. They look a bit older than you and wearing plain shirts and dresses. A young man is standing on a piece of crumbled wall, reciting some of his poetry. It tells the story of a nobleman who fell into a puddle thanks to his gaudy cloak, and none of his noble bearing was of any help. He ends it with a farcical bow. You hear applause and laughter. He gets down from the crumbled wall, and a young girl takes his place. You cannot see her face in the darkness, but hers is a voice you could recognize anywhere. It's Gloria. Your sister begins to recite a poem she's written. Nay, Gloria, yours is no proper life. You are to be a mother and a wife. Accept a kitchen apron for a gag, and lo, another voice now takes a crack. You're straying from your lot, you've got some nerve. Eyes down and be obedient and serve. Your husband, children, house, they are your absolute. Nay, Gloria, you're but a rotten fruit. You lean down to hear her better, but sand and stone fall from under your feet and into the underground hall. Gloria looks up and meets your gaze. Thomas pulls you away from the hole. So, you're reading poems. Imagine that. They sure hate nobles, and even Gloria. I never thought your sister could do that, but they're sure gonna get in trouble if they get spotted by an adult. Bad-mouthing a noble will get you flogged into next week, not to mention all the trouble you can get into for writing poems if you're a commoner. You'd better tell your sister to lay off. We'd better stay away from them, too. You know, being around these people puts Gloria in great danger, but you know your sister. It will not be easy to tell her this. Your adventure in the Castle District is done for tonight. You and your friend return home. During dinner, Gloria will not look at you. Her hair is all disheveled. Is she afraid or is she ashamed? You're also worried sick. These literary gatherings may spell danger for your sister, but for an illegitimate child like her, there are so few ways to forge her own path. Dinner's over. Soon you and Gloria are alone at the table. What are you going to tell her? Keep her secret? Convince Gloria to leave the society? You promise to keep your sister's secret and safe. Oh yeah, absolutely. I would like the nobility point, but I'll keep it secret. Gloria finally looks at you. You wink at your sister and promise to keep her secret. You praise the poetry you were able to overhear and confess that you were impressed. A big joyous smile appears on her face. I'm so happy, brother. I thought you were about to tell me to stop going there and say that mother says about my lot, but I'm glad you're not like that. Me and my friends, without our poetry, we don't have anything else left. Nothing but our abysmal daily lives. At least we can laugh about it this way. You get serious and tell her that her friends need to work much harder to hide their meetings. After all, this secret passion could end badly for them if they get caught. The best way out of this is to meet in a new place every time. You list off several abandoned places nearby where nobody will look for them. You promise her that if she ever comes close to danger, you will be there to protect her. Gloria nods and plants a kiss of sisterly joy on your cheek. Aww. Ingenuity, enterprising. I am enterprising. Secret society, your sister Gloria has joined. Alright, let me see if I can get the rest of these fucking, nobleman points. A true death. Pure agony, dude. Pure agony. A blood tide. Nathan's admonition. The blood tide probably requires a ton of willpower. A matter of the heart. Stephen, how much willpower do I have? 15? Ugh. I might need a lot more than that. Stefan leaves soon after the trial alone. Grandfather does not go with him. For the first time in a long while, he lingers in the house for more than a fortnight. Father says Sir Gregor is ill and needs rest. Several months go by and it becomes clear that grandfather will not recover. The eldest Brant is mostly bedridden now. On some days he has trouble recognizing people. When he means to address you or Nathan, he calls you Robert, your family's name. But when he does get out of bed, the house grows empty. The servants hide. Mother locks herself in her chambers. You and Nathan run outside or hide quietly in your rooms. Grandfather sees anyone in the hallway, he begins lamenting. Oh, nobody heeds the lots any longer. Any harlot with a child can marry a nobleman these days. Children have no respect. His sons betrayed him and let him down. And oh, how the Brant family has lost its honor. Again and again, you hear grandfather knocking at Mother's door, screaming that it's all her fault. He blames her for ruining his chances to find bliss in the hereafter. He blames her for dooming him to suffer at the foot of the pillar. You overhear your parents talking one night. Mother begs father to move Sir Gregor to his old home and spare the children his decline. Father refuses her outright. It's late at night. The hot, dry winds are coming. The house is empty save for you, Nathan, Gloria, Mother, and Grandfather in his bed. Father is left for the capital on business. You are engrossed in the history of the Empire, snapping out of your reverie only when the clock strikes midnight. You blow out the candle and get ready for bed. You hear the shuffling of heavy feet outside your door. You see light in the hallway. Grandfather. What could he want in the middle of the night? You peek into the hallway once he has passed. Your grandfather's figure sways as he heads for the door to Mother's chambers. He opens the door and walks in. You hear him saying something quietly. Your unease is stronger than your fear now. You sneak closer to hear his words. You foul commoner. I need to. I have to cleanse my sins. I have to save my soul. You're my greatest sin. You and what you have done to Robert and this family. I should have put a stop to this marriage. I should have stopped Robert from tainting this house by your presence. Why, oh why did I not do it? Please, Sir Brant, I beg of you. Silence, you will do my bidding. Fire will cleanse all low-born filth from this place. Fire and flame will free Robert from this disgrace. This is for my son's sake, for my son's sake, for my sake. I need to eradicate this low-born filth. The twins, they're calling for me now. I can feel it. I can feel it. I beg of you, please, have mercy. Mother begins to cry. You run into the room, unable to stay out of this any longer. Grandfather's gaunt figure looms over Mother's bed, a lit oil lamp in his hand. Mother sprawled out on the bed, crying. Please, just let me warn the children, I beg of you, Sir Brant. The steps are loud enough to be heard. Grandfather turns to look at you. Stay out of this, Theodore. Be useful for once. Worldly matters concern me no longer. I see only my sins now, and a sinner I am. A sinner. The twins, they forgive no one. They will judge me by the pillar. I must do something. I don't want to suffer for all eternity. Go away. Mother is crying. Grandfather still looming over the bed, driven to madness. His hand shakes as he clutches the oil lamp. His eyes shine in the dark. He truly believes this has to be done. You're suddenly torn. What if he's right? What if that is the only way for his soul to find salvation? There's no going back now. You've but a moment to act. Run away, rescue Nathan and Gloria. My wealth! Ingenuity and spirituality. Gregor Brant, true death. Run away to wake up your siblings and rescue them from what's to come. I could stop Grandfather and get nobility and ingenuity. Interesting. And he dies anyway. Good. Let it all happen as Grandfather wishes. Oh, and then I die! Stop Grandfather. We must. I'll take the willpower hit for both a nobility and an ingenuity point. We must stop him! Stop him! You look at grandfather defiantly and step towards him. He stares you down with rage and throws the oil lamp at the floor. You manage to catch it, but just barely. Several drops of hot oil hit the rug, not nearly enough to start a fire. The lamp's glass is blistering hot, it burns your hands, but you still hold onto it safely. You low-born scum, you ruined everything. You're every bit like your mother, you... Enraged, he takes a swing and you squeeze your eyes shut, but he does not hit you. Instead, there's a deep exhalation. You peek at him with one eye just in time to see him collapse, all his strength fading away. His chest is heaving, his face a grimace of contempt, another heavy exhalation. The contempt is gone, there's only fear now. Grandfather's eyes open wide, almost in surprise. He exhales. His eyes grow dim. Mother is there, whispering a prayer. She's shaking violently. You put the oil... Oh, fuck. Fuck. You put the oil lamp gently on the bedside table and call for the servants. They carry the body away. It does not appear true death has found him. Does not disappear, rather. True death has finally found him. He will never return. You spend the rest of the night with Mother in the sitting room. She will not let go of your hand. For many, many nights afterward, she keeps seeing Grandfather's shadow out of the corner of her eye. Father returns from a turn of the morning after. He's unusually composed as he arranges for the funeral. The house becomes quiet. Not the looming, heavy sort of quiet the past few months, but the calm relief you all feel now that the crazed old man is no more. At last, Gregor Brant, the family's patriarch, has departed for the hereafter. What do I care of my relationship to him? Honorable, enterprising, I'm full of power. Your grandfather, Sir Gregor Brant, left this world forever to meet the twin gods. Let's see. I don't know how far along I am in the chapter. I'm almost done, I think. Stefan's disgrace, the blood tide. Nathan's admonition. The night of Grandfather's death shook your family to the core. Yet no matter how it happened, your grandfather Gregor Brant is dead and will never return. He was a fearful shadow looming over the rest of the family, the Brant patriarch exerting his influence on all the lives below him, and all of you will remember him forever. Father is the new patriarch of the family now, yet he still cannot bring himself to sit at the head of the table where Sir Gregor used to preside. Stefan locked himself away in Grandfather's bedroom every day. He will not talk to anyone. Gloria and Nathan still jump at every sound that so much resembles the knocking of his walking stick. Mother spends all day in prayer at the temple. Yet the house has become calm and quiet with his passing. But there's one more thing that must be done, the final farewell. It weighs heavily upon your soul. The day comes for you to pay your final respects. Father goes to the tomb alone, save for Stefan, Nathan, and you. Mother and Gloria stay at home. Only nobles, or those who may become nobles, may join this ritual. There is a solemn silence as you walk to the crypt. Father is the one who breaks the silence when you finally reach the door of the family crypt. Your grandfather built this crypt, and now he will be the first Brant to remain here in body forever. First ever noble in our family. It's now our duty to hold to the sacrament of flowing blood for Sir Gregor. He will honor his legacy and join him as the founder of the noble Brant dynasty. Stefan perks up at his father's words, his hands still clutch grandfather's sword. Tradition decrees that it must remain in the niche above the owner's sarcophagus. Nathan, on the other hand, looks even more frightened. Stairs carved of white stone lead you downward. Deep in the gloom of the crypt atop a pedestal, you see the sarcophagus that holds grandfather's body. Father takes a moment to compose himself before his final respects. Sir Gregor Brant, my father, brought our family into nobility through his unshakable will. He was a judge and a loyal servant to the Empire. He lived his life as if he had been born a noble, and he never strayed from the path he had chosen. He sought to make the Brant family ennobled by the sword so that our children's children might be of noble birth. The twins know I abided by my father's words all my life, even if I could not obey him every time. Father lets of a bitter chuckle as he says this. Stefan glares at Father, then turns a glare at Nathan and you. After all, the two of you were born of Father's shameful decision to marry a commoner. All of you remember his disastrous passing. He did not die the true death he deserved, yet we all must know that he fought for the future he believed in, to the very end, and he would be proud to see his family bid him farewell with this sacrament of the nobility. Stefan still glares at Father sullenly. His fingers remain clutched around Grandfather's sword. Nathan barely pays attention to the words. He looks around with unease, his arms folded across his chest. Father reaches into his jacket and pulls out a slender dagger, thin and sharp. He takes off his gloves. Watch me carefully, my sons. Make a small cut on the palm of your hand and let your blood flow into this duct on the wall of the crypt. It will join your grandfather's blood here and flow forever. Then ancestors and progeny will become as one. We shall enter our family's blood tide and receive grandfather's final blessing, for his blood flows first in our blood tide. He will be responded to you. You are a part of him, and he is a part of you. With a quick motion, Father slices his hand and holds the bleeding cut above a small opening in the wall. Then he hands the dagger to Stefan. Stefan cuts his hand without hesitation, as does as Father did. You receive the dagger next. The dagger's handle feels warm. You hesitate for a moment as you look at the palm of your hand. If you participate in this blood ritual, you will enter the Brant blood tide. You, a lowborn child, a child who is still a commoner. You ready to claim your legacy as a descendant of the nobleman Gregor Brant? The eyes of your father and brother are upon you. Nathan, the youngest brother, will follow your example. You can be certain of this. I can ask for grandfather's blessing, which would give me the blood tide. But I would need nobility 6. Whoa. Or Gregor Brant 2. Give the dagger back. Bleed. I'll do the blood tide, hell yeah. You still recall your first sacrament, how you defied the lash. You are sure Gregor Brant's grandson, but so you deserve to enter the blood tide. You remember that fateful day when you were 8, the day when you tried to choose a different lot for yourself. You violated the ritual in the temple, you kissed the sword, and against all odds you said you had the right to be a nobleman. And now you must confirm this right. You must join the Brant blood tide. You grasp the dagger firmly, then hold the blade to your skin and quickly drag it across your palm. Drops of your blood fall into the duct, flowing further into the crypt as you combine with the blood of your father and brother. The fresh wound burns in your hand. What are you doing, Theodore? Why'd you have to take these two along, Father? This ritual is for nobles, and you two aren't even noblemen. His eyes meet Father's stern gaze. No one is to interrupt the sacrament. Indignant as he is, Stefan falls silent. You hand the dagger to Nathan. Your younger brother hesitates. Father offers him help, and Nathan shakes his head. Finally, he makes a cut, and Nathan's blood joins yours in the duct of the crypt. The deed is done. It's time to close the sarcophagus. The lid falls into place with a heavy, resonant thud. Then suddenly you all freeze as each of you hears your late grandfather speak to you. His voice loud as it rings in the depths of the crypt, and yet he speaks to each of you separately. So you think yourself my descendant, son of a low-born woman? Very well. Time will tell how much nobility you have within. But know this, I am your ancestor. You are my flesh and blood. I will be watching you always, and my shadow will follow you forever. Do not let me down, boy. Grandfather's voice falls silent. You glance at your father and brother's astonished, save for Stefan. Everyone else is dumbfounded as well. The ritual is complete. Stefan reverently kisses the grip of grandfather's sword and places it in the alcove above the sarcophagus. Once all is done, you leave the crypt together. Cool, fresh wind blows in your face as you return to the surface. Stefan storms off to the carriage, fuming. Father stops halfway to the carriage and hugs Nathan and you briefly. Now your blood belongs to the dynasty of Sir Gregor Brant as well. You join the blood tide of the Brant family. Is that the end of my adolescence? Maybe not. Let's see if we can capture Stefan's disgrace. Or we could keep going with ingenuity. What is my ingenuity? Oh, I'm enterprising! Well, both of those would be good. Getting ingenuity up to 7 would be good for us for probably later on. But getting nobility 4 would give us another family destiny chapter. Occupation schoolboy? Grandfather's passing and last respects have left a mark on your entire family. His words relayed from the hereafter keep echoing in your mind. You still do your best to avoid the memory of grandfather's last night and spend more time on the city streets with Thomas and your other classmates. The road by the house reminds you of another clash with death. Sometimes as you walk along that road, you recall Sophia, the beautiful girl with wonderful eyes and the terrifying thundering hooves. You have not seen Sophia since that fateful day. The children who live nearby say her parents sent her to a rich Arknian family, the Ottons, as a servant. The sun is set. The pillar shines palely in the dark sky. Thomas is ill, so you decide to visit him and tell him the latest news. The streets seem oddly agitated tonight, full of horses, cloaked men, strange faces, and hushed voices. Hello, Matilda. A young nobleman in a heavy embroidered cloak is walking back and forth, clutching at his sword nervously. There's a grimace of rage on his delicate blue face. He's an Arknian. You overhear voices. Sir Otten, the girl's not home. We searched the house. Her parents swear she ran away from home, too. They claim they wanted to bring her back. Just do whatever it takes. Turn this loathsome district upside down if you must. But bring my servant back to me. She's here. Sophia ran away from an Arknian. How can this be? There's only one place on the entire street where a person could hide, the abandoned Moral House, 4 houses away from yours. You head there, doing your best not to attract attention. The lopsided house built of yellow brick has been abandoned for 20 years or so. You remember playing there as a boy. You glimpse a figure inside even before you enter, a pair of eyes glimmering in the dark. You would recognize them even after another 4 years. Sophia's grown up. She's almost an adult now, and her face is full of fear. She's not the easygoing girl next door that you remember. She finally recognizes you. Oh, it's you, Theodore. Be quiet. They're all looking for me. I ran away from the youngest Autumn. I might be in for a lesser death here, but I'd rather die than spend another day in their slavery. I'm just a thing to them, just a toy to play with. Sophia winces and closes her mouth as she says this. There's a glint of bright yellow deep in her eyes. I ran to my parents, told them all about the men I had to serve, and they went and alerted the Ottons. They don't want to be the target of their ire, but you aren't going to tip them off, are you? Maybe. The barking and shouting are getting closer. Sophia's voice grows quiet. She runs off to the darkest corner of the house before you can answer. One of the Otton servants is so close you can hear his cloak swishing against the ground. He notices something and calls for the others. There are more voices around you now. They approach the house from the yard and surround it. One of them seems particularly snappy, annoyed, and impatient. You've already heard this voice today. If you're in there, girl, you'd be wise to come out and quit wasting my time. All will be forgiven. You will go back where you were. You know it. And if you don't, I'll drag you out by the hair. The hilt of the young Archnean sword bashes the door. He's about to lose his patience for good. Sophia hugs the wall in the dark, trying to stay still. She glances at you. What will you do? Your heart is racing. Can you act against the Archnean's orders? Do you have the gall to defy the mighty nobleman? Try to stop Autumn. Requires Sophia died her first death. Sophia must not have died the first time. You protect your friend, even if you have to defy the young Archnean. Bring Sophia back to Autumn. Sophia has died. Sophia dies again, I think. The Archnean is within his rights. You will render him a service if you help him capture her. Oh, Sophia will not like me for that. Sophia will become merciless. Help Sophia flee. Ingenuity 4. Oh, now 6. Willpower 0, now 10. Matters of the heart. Willpower -5. Sophia trusting. Hide alone. Willpower Sophia down by 1. Sophia is embittered. Oh god, I don't like any of these. Sophia, I really don't want to help you, because that would decrease my willpower. Sorry, Sophia. I'm gonna hide alone. None of these give me any stat boost. We could get a point for Dorius. At the cost of Sophia. She'll become merciless, though. I'll take a chance and hide alone, I think. The Archnean is within his rights. I'm gonna hide alone. Sorry, Sophia. Sorry, girl. You swiftly turn away from Sophia's desperate gaze and flee to cower in the dark. A pained sigh reaches your ears. I knew it. You do not respond, you need to hide. The front door slams open, heavy footsteps echo from the entrance. The irate Archnean strides right past her hiding place, paying you no heed whatsoever. Where are you, you little tramp? There's no hiding from me. Shadowy figure streaks past you. Sophia? High-pitched, furious scream slices through the silence. A blinding golden flash explodes in front of you. A sudden cascade of sparks burning through the darkness. As you blink stunned, Otton's tall figure freezes and suddenly collapses. The golden sparks are still dancing before your eyes. A sudden pain seems to rupture your skull from the inside. Through the light and the pain, you barely catch a glimpse of Sophia as she dashes past the prone Archnean and runs out the door. It takes Otton a few long moments to regain his senses. He gets up with a curse and runs after Sophia. So she's a witch too, eh? Get her, now! You hear men running, shouting, and barking orders on the other side of the wall. You lie there on a pile of old bricks, rubbing your eyes. The strange stupor slowly leaves you. You get to your feet and walk unsteadily out of the abandoned house. The danger's past. You walk back home, lost in thought. Sophia's a witch. You recall how her magic bound Autumn by the arms and legs. Now he lost all control of his body. The runaway servant girl becomes the talk of the district for an entire week. You hear that Sophia has managed to flee the city. The Ottons are furious. Sophia vanished from your life just as suddenly as she came. You will not see her again for quite some time. She's so bad. She's so mad at me, dude. She's so mad at me. After what you did, Sophia realized that the world is cruel and does not deserve to be spared. Chill, girl. Nice job, Sophia. You made it out. 11D, 30D, 3D. The Summer, the Bloodstained Sermon. I'm about to turn 15,000, just one step away from adulthood. Mother is acting anxious at dinner today, barely touching her food. You exchange glances with Gloria. She carefully tells you that she wants to go to the tailor. Mother shudders and her hand clenches into a fist. Ah, don't you dare leave home today. I forbid it. That dirty heretic Photis is preaching his lies under the silver tree today. Twins wheeling, I don't want you to hear any of that. You and Gloria glance at each other again. Photis. He's a patriarch, the head of the clergy throughout the entire province. That is the first time you've heard Mother speak like this about a priest, especially such a high-ranking one. Once you leave the dinner table, Gloria comes to your room with a cunning expression on her face, like she's about to play a trick on someone. Later, Matilda. She has a plan. The two of you should sneak out of the house and go to the silver tree. Fucking who would have thought? You simply must hear that sermon for yourself. What's so bad about Patriarch Photis? Why does Mother hate him so much? You two are grown-ups now. Surely you have the right to know. You agree with your sister. Together, you sneak out from under your mother's watchful eye and hurry to the silver tree. The temple block is full of people from all ranks and estate. There's barely enough room for you to squeeze through the crowd. The crowd is gathered around the very roots of the tree. Gloria suggests that you climb up to the roof of a nearby building so that you can hear and see everything better. And not a moment too soon! From the roof, you see a tall, silver-haired priest step out onto the platform by the tree, dressed in the common black robe that looks far beneath his rank, yet he stands like a noble before the crowd. Behind his back is a banner flapping in the wind, the open book. This is the symbol of the new faith, the crowd whispers. The patriarch holds his hand up to the sky and the entire temple block grows quiet. He begins his sermon, his vibrant voice rolling across the square. Photis speaks of a great mistake. We entrusted ourselves to the lots as the only way to fulfill divine providence in this world. But for all these years, the will of the twins has been interpreted by us, for us by a single man, Prophet Asatius. The twins are ever watching from atop the shining pillar. Of this we have no doubt. But how can we so blindly believe that we truly follow their will by following the lots? Have we not seen the 3 lots of Asatius fail again and again to answer the question of how we ought to live our lives? Have we not seen people change their lot in life again and again without being smitten by divine wrath? Every person born, whether human or Archnean, lowborn or noble, must find their lot and their way to God's on their own. He speaks like a Protestant would. Fascinating. Fascinating, a Protestant amogus. From now on, we will seek the gods in the accounts of their own lives, in their own acts in the world, and in their own words as they echo within us. And as we heed the voice of the twins within, we will each find their path for us on our own. The crowd at the silver tree listens to the patriarch's speech in stunned silence. You glance at your sister, her eyes glistening with tears as she hears Photis' words, and suddenly a hoarse cry rises from the crowd. If there are no lots, does that mean the nobles are going to till the fields and the commoners are going to bear arms? The crowd begins to murmur. The patriarch raises an arm and inhales, ready to answer. An odd figure leaps from the crowd onto the platform, a dirty beggar dressed in rags. A knife flashes in his hand. The blade slices. Blood starts spurting from Photis' throat. He slumps over and collapses. A dark brown puddle spreads across the platform where he had stood. Gloria clutches her mouth to suppress a shriek. Whoa. I was not expecting this. I thought he was just going to say his piece and we were going to move on. I didn't think they were going to kill the guy. A few moments of stunned silence, and then the screams begin. The people are frantic. The temple guards try to restore order in the crowd, but to no avail. An old woman dressed in an inquisitor's cassock tries in vain to apply pressure to the patriarch's wound. The nobles draw their swords. Dogs are barking. The crowd is pushing and shoving. Children are crying. The entire square by the tree is in chaos. From the roof, you see the moment when people start trampling each other, howling, praying, shouting. Gloria tugs on your sleeve. Time to go. You climb down from the roof and run. You return home without exchanging a word. Mother has been in her room all the while, so no one noticed your absence. Gloria locks herself in her room. You do not discuss the things you've just seen. They are too frightening. But your parents discuss every little detail of the blood-stained sermon over dinner. This is unbelievable. A patriarch murdered in plain sight. The gendarmes and the Archduke's guard have searched every corner of the slums and the murderous beggars disappeared without a trace. Can't even imagine a more gruesome crime. Photis has died a true death, never to return from the hereafter. But how? Why can't the patriarch be reborn? He is so close to the twins. Such is the way of the world, my children. Once you're granted great power by the twins' will, there's no hope for you to come back, not even after the first of your deaths. Emperors, their powerful vassals, heads of the great Archnean dynasties, patriarchs of the church, none of them are destined to be reborn. Photis is gone forever. I fear for his soul. It was lost in doubt. Will the twins accept him upon the peak of the pillar? We must pray for the patriarch, children. Let us hope he managed to return to the true old faith before the moment of his passing. But there's little hope for that. Damn! Oh my goodness. There's a little discontent. The old faith is slowly losing power to schism. Whoa. Wogue. 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 Sorry, I'm throwing up. Tomorrow you turn 16. According to Imperial law, you will be a full adult. Your time at Sir Tibor's school has ended. You've studied enough to apply for the Imperial College and learn the judge's trade there. You're to travel to Eterna tomorrow. Your friend Thomas will go there with you to try his luck at the Imperial capital. Mother and father prepare you for the long journey. Remember, son, there's only one goal for you. You must become a student at the Imperial College. Your teachers dragged you through all those books for a reason. You have the knowledge and fervor to be ennobled by the mantle as I was, and as my late father was before me. Who knows? Maybe one day you will be the one to write the name Brant in the Blue Book and ensure that your children's children will be noble by birth. Then Mother speaks to you carefully. There's worry in her eyes. Robert, there may be another path for our son. Stefan, your firstborn, was born a noble. He will surely earn the title for the entire Brant family. Your second son bears the favor of the twins. For him, the path of the priest is a worthy calling, no less than a nobleman's sword. They've been arguing about your future for a while now. Still, she would never defy the will of a nobleman and her husband. You smile at them both, trying to placate them. Gloria laughs quietly behind their backs. Just don't become a snoot like Stefan and you'll do just fine. Mother chides Gloria for that. You wink at your sister. Nathan has been downcast all evening. He barely touched his dinner. When everyone gets up from the table, he suddenly rushes over to embrace you. Please don't go, Theodore. Can't you stay? I don't know what I'm going to do without you. You tussle his hair in response. There's no way you can stay now, you say. But when you come home, and you will come home, you'll tell him all your stories and bring him a special present from Eterna. This is it. All your lessons have been learned. All your things have been packed for the road. You'll leave the family home tomorrow. Tonight is your last night at home before your departure. You walk through the rooms one last time. The sitting room where Mother used to read you fairy tales, the library where Gloria used to spend all her time, Father's study, which you entered only on special occasions, the backyard where you taught Nathan to build towers one summer. The whole place feels so familiar, so dear to you. It feels like home. You lived here for 16 years. Can't spend time with Father. Can't spend time with Mother. He hates me. He hates me. Spend time with Gloria. Gives me more ingenuity. Spend time with Nathan. Will you ever return? It's getting late. Everyone's already in their rooms, but you hesitate. Father, Mother, Gloria, Nathan. It will be a long time before you see them again. Who will you spend your last few hours at home with? With Gloria, of course. Do you think your sister's still awake? I could get a lot more willpower out of Nathan. That's very funny. Indeed, your sister is still awake. She jumps out of her armchair happily the moment she sees you. So happy you're actually here, brother. You know, before you leave, I actually have something to tell you. Gloria takes your hand and leads you to the library. You light a lamp. Gloria pulls out a hefty volume from one of the shelves. Look! There's a history of the noble houses. It's got the story of how humans were first ennobled. I read all of it, and guess what? It didn't happen until after the expansion of the Empire. Apparently, there weren't enough Artnians for all the land. They just couldn't rule it by themselves. Artnians have always treated humans like cattle, but human nobles are even worse. They're like paltry copies now, bearing noble titles, wearing gem-studded jackets, bossing others around and poisoning their lives. They make me sick. Everybody says nobles were born to rule, but if you ask me, I say they're nobodies. There's nothing noble about demeaning others and living off their hard work. Gloria is growing unusually agitated. You knew she was not exactly fond of nobles, but this is the first time you've heard such burning scorn in her voice. Then Gloria stops herself suddenly and calms down. Better at reading now compared to last year? Really? I haven't been reading at all this year. But I have been speaking a lot more. I just wanted to tell you, brother, you don't actually have to become a noble. If you're a noble, you'll have to follow their rules, like Stefan does. You're not like him, I know it. Don't listen to Mother, and definitely don't listen to Father. They just want you to blindly follow them. It's true, Sir Brant spent plenty of money and effort on your education, but a noble title and a judge's rank were his dream for you, not yours. It's time to think for yourself. Her words spark a dispute. You keep debating into the small hours. Soon you both start reaching into history and politics and morals for material, pulling out library books one by one to prove your points. Turns out Gloria is an excellent debater. All the days and nights she spent in the library have honed her mind and rhetorical skills. The sun is about to rise. You should rest before the long trip. But you're not tired at all. But before you return to your rooms, Gloria locks you in a heartfelt hug. Theodore, please promise me you'll find your own way out there. You nod to her and hug her back, and then she's off. You get into bed, but you cannot sleep. Gloria's words keep you up all night. Ah, inventive. You leave the family home for a long time. Your future awaits you in Eterna, the capital of the Empire. The year is now 1133. I grew up. Last night was your final night at home. The carriage is now waiting at the gate, ready to take you to the capital. The clip-clopping of the idle hooves against the cobblestone count the seconds before your departure. You take one more look at your parents' house and recall your childhood spent there, and the nearby yards, at your school, and on the winding streets of Anizot. You clash with the greater world around you, and you survived. You felt the tingle of emotion for the first time. You were taught by the school and the streets. You explored the city of your birth and learned something of its past. You witnessed firsthand events that will be remembered by history for all time. All of this is yours now, forever. You saw death, lesser death, followed by rebirth, and true death that takes and never gives back. You saw death lying in wait to strike the unaware, like a beast stalking its prey. You saw grandfather's angry grimace lit by the flickering fire of the lamp. The Archduke's cavalry trampled those who stood in their way, and your older brother's bloodied sword slicing through the air. Death has followed you from a very young age. And yet, you live on. You have a friend who's been by your side all these years. Thomas taught you many things. How to take a hit, how to keep your word, how to remain true to your own self. And now, Thomas is walking to the same carriage as you with a heavy bag slung over his shoulder. Your friend will remain your companion for the time being. Ahead of you is a long trip towards the capital and adulthood. For the first time, you will be away from your family and home. What awaits you in the future? The end of adolescence. The blood tide. How do I like socializing as of now? Big fan. Wish I could do it more, but sometimes just can't. My destiny. There's my personality. I wish I could have got one more nobility point, but hey, 8 ingenuity? I'll fucking take it. Mundane spirituality does not punish me at all. All your qualities from childhood and adolescence will now convert into adult qualities. Ah, and I ended with quite a couple of points of willpower. And my death has been untouched. Wonder what the next chapter's stats are gonna look like. Into youth, at the bright old age of 16!
Leaving my hometown behind, I set out for the capital of the Empire. There, I would discover my role in society.
Why do I sound like a cowboy? Why does Sir Brant sound like a cowboy? Ah, youth. The driver flicks the reins, the carriage slowly sways as it starts moving away from your home. You stick your head out the window and wave goodbye to your family. Nathan's running after the carriage with Thomas's younger brother in tow, tears glistening in their eyes. Hurts to leave your home behind? Ahead lies Eterna, the imperial capital. You've often read about it and heard stories from Father and Stefan. It is a city that surpasses Anizot enormously in terms of size, age, wealth, and beauty. But what is it really like? What kind of life awaits you there? What will you learn there? And where will your actions take you? Growth spurt must have hit like a truck. You pass the old walls of Anizot. Somewhere within them is the old fortress you and Thomas built together out of old wooden planks, now left to the care of your younger brothers. You two are adults now. Perhaps your fortress will crumble, now abandoned, or perhaps your brothers will continue what you started. Who knows? You look down at your hands, knuckles covered in scars from street antics, fingers stained with ink. Mother gave you a cross to wear away from home, and now you can feel its warmth against your chest. Your family counts on you, even though they all wish for a different future for you. But they're behind you now, in Anizot. From this point on, only you will decide which road you will take. This is the journey you prepared for throughout your entire childhood. Ahead of you lie many years in the capital, years that will determine your fate and your place in society. Oh! These are your personal qualities in adulthood, which you will use for the rest of your life. They are the sum of the qualities you have gained in childhood and adolescence. For most skill checks, you will need a value between 10 and 16, which I don't have on diplomacy at all. Where values 17 to 19 are required for rare and especially difficult choices, the maximum value 20 only gives you a chance for one extraordinary deed. Perception 6 makes me inquisitive. Nobility 3 honorable gives me a diplomacy of 9, which is unknown. Your proficiency in the laws of the Empire, as well as your connections and influence among the ruling elite and high society. It affects your ability to negotiate with people of importance, most important to the judge. Ugh, not very good. Oh, now... Oh! Oh! Now we're cooking! My perception of 6 and my ingenuity of 8 have given me a 14 in manipulation. Your ability to influence people by way of deception and trickery, and use them to achieve your goals. Most important to the conspirator. My perception of 6 and my spirituality of 1 have given me a 7 in theology, a neophyte. My proficiency with sacred texts and comprehension of the divine law and ability to construct and defend your own interpretation of the faith. Most important to the inquisitor. My determination of 3 and my nobility of 3 have given me a 6 of valor, weak in battle. Your capabilities as a warrior, your strength in battles and duels, it affects your ability to fight and command troops. Most important to the judge. Which we will not be. Scheming. It looks like we're going to be a conspirator. Determination of 3 and an ingenuity of 8 have given me an 11 in scheming. Your talent for inciting riots, organizing ambushes, and plotting murders, assaults, and sabotage. It determines the success of your criminal undertakings. I am a conspirator. And so I am. Determination of 3 and spirituality of 1 have given me a 4 eloquence. No! Your ability to instill faith, to guide and lead people with your speeches. I'm tongue-tied. I'm definitely no orator. It looks like this run we're going to be a little sneaky with it. You left your hometown to study in the Imperial capital. What life awaits you in Eterna? What will you study and where will you go? When push comes to shove, which road will you take? Your youth awaits and the years to come will determine the nature of your destiny and your place in society. The life paths chosen on this route, on this chapter, give me the path of the lotless. You remain in the common state with no choice but to fend for yourself and make your own way in the world. The path of the priest. You enroll in the seminary. I would need theology 10 and eloquence 10. Hoping to become a priest and assume the lot of the clergy. Path of the nobleman would require diplomacy and valor. Like your father and grandfather, you enroll in the Imperial College, hoping to become a judge and a nobleman of the mantle. And true death. Accept true death. Or, your earthly life is over. You leave the world forever and face the judgment of the twins. It looks like it's going to be a path of the lotless for me, dude. The priest, the nobleman? I guess priest would probably be the best way to do it. Getting a 10 eloquence could... Either a 10 diplomacy or a 10 eloquence would probably be the best bet. I think 10 eloquence would... I don't know. Let me see. Of all of these stats, I would want diplomacy, eloquence, and manipulation, because my manipulation's already high. I don't care too much for scheming. I'll definitely try for one of these, diplomacy, eloquence, or manipulation. Ah, the personal life. Events in personal life and the hero that can happen in this chapter is Alyssa's rescue, Alyssa's rescue, the enigmatic singer known as the Golden Voice from an untimely death, collapse of the Lotless. You fail to protect the Lotless. The Empire utterly destroys the secret society. The Lotless at large. You rescue the Lotless and the secret society. The secret society continues its activities in the capital. Well, maybe... Well, hang on. This requires manipulation 13. Oh, maybe we do pursue that. Bond of friendship. You and Thomas form an unbreakable bond of friendship. Dude, wait. Maybe me and Thomas can fucking go crazy on the... We could be unks together, running the Lotless gang. You side with the new faith and support the transformation of the church? That would go crazy, too. That would require willpower in the path of the priest, though. I would like to defend the new faith. Shield of the old faith. You side with the old faith and seek to defend its foundations? Absolutely not. Victory in the tournament. A valor of 12? That would also require a fencing lesson. Fight for your father and a path of the noble. And then, here's my personality. Oh, personality used in this chapter. Or will that... Okay, yeah. Battle hardened. Damn. We'll hit the continue button, and then we will... Priest posting in the 1800s. Priest posting. Oh, not a lot of chapters on this one. Not a lot of segments on this chapter. Arrival in the capital. Not quite. Not quite. I can also show hidden consequences. Oh, goodbye. Wow, dude. This game is really fucking good. I really love Choose Your Own Adventures, man. Oh, it's not even 1800s. No, 17th century? It's Reformation period. When was the Reformation? The 17th century, I think? No. Maybe it was way earlier than that. Was the Reformation. The Reformation was, oh my god, the Reformation was early 16th century. Holy shit, dude. When was the 30 Years' War? The Reformation was in the 16th century. The 30 Years' War was in the 17th century. Okay. The 1618 triggered by the defenestration of Prague. Damn, dude. God, it took 100 years for that shit. It took 100 years for Protestantism to spread. Let it be known. Let it be known. Well, with that being said, I'm gonna take off for the night. I'll see everybody next week on Friday for some Team Fortress 2. I hope everybody has a good rest of your week. We'll see if I can get a video started this week. Maybe. I don't know. Wednesday, I'm going out to Forks, I think, so... You feel older each day? Yeah, me too. With that being said, good night, everybody. Have a good one. Don't get defenestrated out there. Careful.